front, breaks the tackle and scores.
SDFC comes so close.
Portland wins the penalty kick shootout 3-2. They win the match, and there will be a decisive winner-take-all game 3.
They did it again.
The throw to first, double play. The Dodgers cement their dynasty.
They're not even a real country anyway.
Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour one of John and Jim. All right, that was the show.
Have a good one, everybody.
Obviously, we start with what's important, which is the college basketball season is underway. No, we're kidding. We're not going to do the 4-hour Jim show from last year when he didn't mention the Dodgers winning the World Series. There we are, 30 seconds in. We've mentioned
Can't do it back-to-back years, can we?
But let's set this up because we actually have a short show, not because the Dodgers won the World Series, although it works out nicely. But at 4:45, we have Monday Night Football for you pregame coverage. So we've got Monday Night Football tonight beginning at 4:45. We'll catch up with Will Brinson on the weekend at 4 p.m. Chris Hodge will have free picks for us at 4:30, and we'll talk Aztecs Hoops with Dave Velasquez at 3:30 as well. We have amazing ticket giveaways all day long.
It's like the best ticket giveaway day on John and Jim ever.
We will set that up in about 10 minutes because I want to get to obviously what happened over the weekend with the World Series and the Padres manager. But SDFC tickets for a decisive game and San Diego State tickets as well for tomorrow we have. We'll tell you how to win those tickets coming up in about 10 minutes. So you sent out this tweet. This is where I want to start.
Oh, with my tweets?
No. It's actually not. But it is with one of your tweets that has nothing to do with what Dodger fans are saying about you, and they're saying a lot. But
it's a lot.
You tweeted out when the Blue Jays, I think, lost the World Series. If you're a Blue Jays fan, honestly, you don't recover from this. I'm sorry. And you're 100% right. But to me, to localize it, to bring it further, it's a tough time to be a fan of the San Diego Padres. Because when you've put so many resources into this, when you've put so many dollars and so many man hours and you've paid so much attention and this rivalry, I mean, it's kind of laughable right now. And to watch what the Dodgers now have done, Jim, the last 2 years, and this isn't solely about the Padres. We'll get into the Padres. It's about the Dodgers. It's about the World Series. It's about baseball. But yeah, it's a bad time to be a Blue Jays fan. I can't imagine it. Think about it from a Padres perspective. But honestly, it's a tough time to be a Padres fan. Yes, they've been successful to an extent on the field, but to watch the Dodgers, Jim, win in the manner in which they won this weekend, yeah, crushing for the Blue Jays, crushing if you're a Padres fan too. Right?
What did I say leading up to the inevitable? All Padres fans just got to wear it. There's everybody in baseball. Giants fans, Padres fans.
The Giants are a good example. It's their rival.
Yeah.
It's a great example.
Yeah, everybody in baseball.
Yankees, all these big markets.
Everybody's got to wear it. This is the new dynasty in baseball, whether we like it or not, which we all don't like it.
But you're right.
They are the new evil empire. They are the villains of baseball.
I agree with you.
And, there's nothing anybody could do about it. And the only thing that can be done is there's got to be a team out there that beats them.
And let's be fair.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's why if you're a Blue Jays fan, you're never getting over it. This is the equivalent of being a Phillies fan in 1993.
That tweet somehow made it to Toronto, and I saw Blue Jays fans tweet me how they're already over it. And I've lived through the Toronto Maple Leafs my whole life. I can deal with heartbreak. I'm like, no. This is a different type of heartbreak where you are 2 outs away from winning a World Series, and
then 2 inches.
The player that you had to worry about the most wasn't Shohei Ohtani in that moment. It was Miguel freaking Rojas. Miguel Rojas is going to become a curse word in Toronto with Blue Jays fans. Because, not only did he save the Dodgers season, but it wasn't just that home run. It was also the defensive play in extra innings. It's wild that a baseball team that has $1 billion worth of pitching coming into that game, they have $1 billion invested into that lineup, that Miguel Rojas, of all people, had to bail all of those guys out.
I'm glad you mentioned two things, because, this idea, because I'll push back on this idea that we need a work stoppage, the Dodgers are bad for baseball. I've pushed the narrative that the Dodgers are bad for baseball. Their spending is egregious. The deferrals are bad. I have. But at the end of the day, this isn't the NBA where you get the 3 best players together and you win at a high level. you need Miguel Rojas.
Yeah.
They would not have won the World Series. It's a factual statement. Just like you need, as stupid as it sounds, Tyler Wade. Yeah, I mean, because it's as ridiculous as that. It's the equivalent of Tyler Wade homering in the 9th inning of a World Series game is what it is.
Also, Andy Pages having
The
literally
most ridiculous
the
play.
worst postseason that you could ever have for a everyday player makes the game-saving catch there as well.
Right. So, I mean, I'll push. Here's the thing. Like, I look at it a couple of ways. On one hand, it's like, man, this absolutely sucks. Can you believe the Dodgers did it again? On another hand, it wasn't inevitable. They didn't inevitably win the World Series. They're not guaranteed to win it in 2026. I'm telling you, I know it feels like that right now. I mean, it was a good point someone brought up. The Dodgers, with one out in the 9th inning, were 12-1 to win the World Series. They were down 4-2 in the 8th inning. They were down 3-0. Put it on the Blue Jays. Don't put it on the CBA.
Yeah, Blue Jays. This is
they choked.
This is a bad choke.
They
job of the Blue
choked.
Jays.
So on one hand, I'm like, man, the Padres couldn't be further away. Right? You're watching the Dodgers win back World Series. On another hand, I do know it's sports and things can change, but it's a tough pill to swallow when you consider the manner in which they won. It's way easier for me if the Dodgers win in 5. If the Dodgers dominate that series in all facets,
they did.
lose one game and then to your point. Guess what? I'll go back and circle the 18 inning game. The Blue Jays had more chances than the Dodgers. Game 6 was a winnable game.
You get doubled off. Like what?
And game 7 wasn't a winnable game. Was a game you have to win.
The entire series, the Blue Jays had so many opportunities to put this thing away.
So many. It's on them.
And they didn't capitalize. And I just, if you're a Blue Jays fan, like I said, I can't fathom myself watching a game end like that in baseball for my favorite team and not be like scarred for life as a sports fan. Like for me, it's different because it's not the same sport, but like the overtime Super Bowl loss to the Niners, I'll never get over that, ever. If you're a Blue Jays fan, I don't see how you ever get over the fact that, look, if you gave up a game-tying home run in the top of the 9th inning to Shohei Ohtani, that's one thing. Giving up a game-tying home run in the top of the 9th to Miguel freaking Rojas.
About as bad of a hitter as there was in the sport.
That is next level type of heartbreak because it wasn't like you got beat by their best. Now the pitching was great for the Dodgers, especially the starters. Yamamoto, we can talk about that. But other than game, what was it, 3 for Ohtani at the plate? What did he do offensively in the series that impacted the games? Not a lot.
Do you know what the Dodgers hit in the series?
Yeah, 203. It was like the second worst
combined. The last 2 World Series, 204.
Yeah, it's their pitching that has got them to their World Series championship.
Even that, they were trailing in the 8th inning. They were trailing in the 9th inning. And listen, this is the issue, like you said, whether you're a Padres fan or a Yankees fan or the Giants fan, you can't put all your eggs in the basket of the Blue Jays. It's not like you can sit here locally and be like, the Blue Jays let us down. No, I mean, it's not on the Blue Jays. Right now, it's now on the Padres to find a path where you can compete in a division with a team like the Dodgers. Now, I would push back, and I hate to do it, but like the rivalry thing, and I'm sure I'll push it again in 2026, and people are going to get amped for it, and for good reason. There'll be important games, but like it's about so much more than the rivalry right now. It's like, how about like name a manager? It feels like the gap is so wide. I don't know if it's true or not. The Padres lost to the Cubs like forever ago and couldn't score. And the Dodgers just won a second straight World Series. It just feels like the gap is so wide. Dodgers have the winningest manager in the history of the sport. Padres don't even have a manager.
I know that for you, it feels like the gap is just like Grand Canyon size, but you also have to remember the Dodgers didn't 98 Yankees roll their way through the regular season and the postseason. They barely got through the regular season with the division title if it weren't for the Padres, and they barely won a World Series if it weren't for the Blue Jays completely choking it and Miguel Rojas saving the day.
And I agree with you, but does that matter? Because it's almost like the Dodgers can treat the regular season like an exhibition, right? They're guaranteed to be in the postseason. That's not even a question.
Right.
And I'm with you. I'm pushing the Blue Jays should have won the game. They were favored to win the game, obviously, once it was the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. But what is barely winning a World Series?
It's
winning
still
a World
winning
Series.
a World Series.
Guess what? The Chiefs, you're right. They barely beat the Niners in overtime.
They won.
Nobody remembers it like that.
No, it's like, oh, you're holding that trophy up. It's a barely trophy.
The Blue Jays barely had Joe Carter hit a home run, but nobody remembers it like the Phillies were equal to the Blue Jays. So I'm just saying it's a tough time for as much resources as we spend on the Padres and for as many people as they draw. Like, it's a great era that's coinciding with an awful era.
It's not the decade of the Padres, as Peter Seidler hoped it would
you know
be.
whose decade it is?
It's the decade of the Dodgers.
Definitively. And listen, we will be critical. We're going to give you obviously the San Diego point of view, but you'd be foolish to say anything other than that.
Oh,
and that's what sucks.
Yeah, it does suck, And I'll tell you what, though, if you are just we're an objective viewer of this series.
Great series.
It was incredible.
Great series.
I hate the Dodgers more than anything, more than any sports team in any sport in the country. But objectively,
amazing series.
It was incredible.
You and I both love baseball.
I love baseball.
So first and foremost, I love baseball. And I'm not going to not turn on the World Series because it's a bitter pill to swallow.
Right. I love every Dodger fan invading my mentions, telling me I shouldn't watch the game. Bro, it's the World Series. I'm going to watch the championship. Like,
as you should.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I think that's almost ridiculous. If you're like, I don't like the Dodgers, I'm not going to watch the World Series. Well, I like baseball.
Yeah. I do think, though, and the performances, Yamamoto, I mean, again, guy lived up to his contract in the World Series. He's worth every single penny of the $325 million the Dodgers paid for him. But also, I would like to say, pump the brakes. It was one of the greatest World Series pitching performances that you'll ever see. It was not even close to the greatest. Like, let's just pump the brakes on that.
Are you saying Game 7 specifically with him coming back on no days rest, or Game 6?
No, I'm saying the entirety of the World Series. His complete game in Game 2, Game 6 win, and then Game 7, 2 innings relief.
I mean, honestly, to me, it's less about the Dodgers' ability to overcome. Again, maybe this is my slant, and more about the choke of the Blue Jays. Like, to me, the story isn't like Yamamoto prevails them to a World Series. No, he didn't. He was great. But again, the Miguel Rojas's of the world, and the Blue Jays with opportunities in the 18-inning game and Game 6, the choke. I mean, a complete double play choke job, the double play to end the game. Kiner Falefa, I cannot be sold on anything other than the egregious base running miscue. His lead was not large enough. His jump was not good. His feet first slide was bad. So, like, all of these things to me will be remembered as much from my seat as Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
What I will say, though, about the Dodgers is when you're playing the Dodgers, you have to be damn near perfect to beat them. And if you mess up, they're going to take advantage. And that's what happened. The Blue Jays had a million opportunities to put that team to rest in Game 7, and they didn't capitalize. I remember at one point, I think it was the 8th inning or
second, nobody out. Didn't score them.
I looked over at Aaron. I'm like, if they don't score this run here, like that might be a problem. And what happened? You had Max Muncy in a home run, and they just kept chipping away. Like I said, hate the Dodgers. I loathe their fan base. I think their fan base is the literal worst fan base in all of professional sports. They're so vitriol and they're so disgusting. I mean, the things that they were telling me on social media, like, just a bunch of scumbags. But I have to give the Dodgers team credit. That was insanely impressive. I'm sorry. I hate them, but that was crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It was an impressive World Series, but I put just as much blame on the Blue Jays' inabilities than I give the Dodgers credit.
For
I hate
sure.
to say it that way, but that's honestly how I feel.
Both can be true, though.
Both can be true. I mean, the Dodgers, at the end of the day, nobody's going to remember it as a full choke. They're going to know that the Dodgers have won back-to-back.
How did they not win that game?
How did they not win that game? All right, we're going to tell you about some great giveaways on the other side. Plus, what is the latest on the Padres managerial search that's supposed to wrap up last week? We've got the latest there for you coming up. Stay with us, John and Jim. San Diego Sports 760, live in the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Great show, but a short show. We're here until 4:45. We've got Monday Night Football tonight coming up at 4:45 with pregame coverage. So we're here until 4:45, and then it's Cowboys and Cardinals from Dallas coming up at 5:15. Listen to these giveaways, all right? So let's start here. We're going to give away a pair of Aztec tickets twice per hour. So a pair of Aztec tickets twice per hour for tomorrow's game against Long Beach State, including in the next 5 minutes. We'll give away our first pair of tickets for tomorrow's game at 7 p.m. that you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760 with pregame coverage at 6 p.m. We'll give away a pair of tickets twice per hour, this hour, next hour, and in the 4 o'clock hour. If you want to go to the SDFC playoff game this weekend, that'll be Sunday at Snapdragon Stadium, you need to open up the iHeartRadio app right now. You can qualify to win a pair of tickets right now in the iHeartRadio app. Just open the app, find San Diego Sports 760, tap the red talkback mic, and just leave us a voice message with your name and where you're from. That's all you have to do to qualify. This is for 2 free tickets to see SDFC winner-take-all game Sunday against Portland. Make sure to make 760 your number one preset on the app and on your car radio as well. But Aztec tickets, if you want the SDFC tickets, open the app right now. All you need to do is click that red microphone icon. Once you find 760, tell us where you're from and your name, and you're eligible to win those 2 tickets for Sunday to see SDFC.
On one hand, it's great that there's another playoff game at Snapdragon Stadium so quickly.
Right.
But on the other hand, the tension and the nerves are going to be very high because it is a win or go home. And we saw what happened on Saturday night. When you get to the postseason here in MLS and at the end of stoppage time, you have to go to PKs, like anything could happen. And SDFC is the better team, but that's just how it went on Saturday night. And then Chicho Dos Santos gets injured. Like, we can't have this happen to SDFC this early. Like, can't have this because that'd be bad.
Yeah, no, they have to beat Portland on Sunday. It is a winner-take-all to advance to the Western Conference semifinals. So be listening. We're giving away, again, Aztec tickets in the next 5 minutes. We'll have 2 pairs per hour between now and 5 p.m. So, Jim, fact, Dodgers won the World Series. Another fact is the Padres have not yet named a manager, and it was very quiet over the weekend. We now know at this point, with the World Series being over, it's not just about reporting. They could just announce it. Could have been Sunday. Could have been earlier today. Clearly, there's no press conference coming today. Maybe we'll get some type of reporting at some point. But we're just left to wonder, like, what's next for the Padres? Days after the Dodgers win another World Series, their 3rd of the decade, the Padres are in limbo, presumably. Questions about free agency. Michael King has opted out as expected. Robert Suarez has opted out as expected. And the Padres don't have a manager. And that's the next big shoe to drop in San Diego, Jim. They're going to announce a manager. Then we'll get to free agency and the GM and the winter meetings. But, I mean, it's obviously sooner rather than later. But we thought last week, and now we're into next week with the Padres.
We do have manager news in baseball that just happened moments ago. In baseball, Walt Weiss is the new Atlanta Braves manager. He was a bench coach for the Braves. I don't know how many other teams are without a manager right now.
I was going to ask, that was my next question. 3 in the neighborhood, about 3 or 4.
The Padres. Do the Rockies need a manager? They need everything.
Great question. That's a great question.
Does anybody care about the Rockies?
No.
I don't know what other teams need managers other than the Padres and potentially the Rockies.
Looking that up. But to your point, like, let's go. Other teams have made the announcements.
Yeah, I thought
Rockies have an opening.
Okay, and then there's maybe
looking.
Is there one other team? If it's not, then it's the Padres and the Rockies.
Right, the Angels made their hire. The Rangers have made their hire. I'm looking at the only jobs open right now are in San Diego and Colorado. The only jobs in baseball.
Now, you can make a case. Well, the Padres were blindsided. They didn't know that Mike Schitt was going to quit on them. They weren't expecting to go through a manager search this upcoming offseason. And because of how they were quote unquote blindsided by Mike Schitt, this might take longer because they have to prepare for a manager search. But then when I see reports last week and, They've interviewed Albert Pujols twice. They've interviewed Ryan Flaherty. They've interviewed Ruben Niebla. They've interviewed who else? Brian Esposito. They've interviewed Nick Hundley. I mean, you've already interviewed a bunch of guys. Well, what's taking so long here? When's the decision gonna be made? I mean, how many managers were hired during the World Series? At least 3. So there wasn't this, oh, you have to wait till the World Series ends. Maybe you have to wait till off days for the team to announce it. But right now, the only thing the Padres are doing are teasing City Connect jerseys 2.0 for next year and telling everybody happy birthday.
Right. I mean, what's interesting too, in just looking at the jobs that were open this offseason, you could certainly argue the Padres have the best opening. I could argue Atlanta if I wanted to,
Right.
but I could also argue San Diego. So I don't really know. I thought the optics as well. Like if you named a manager today, not just you can overly concern yourself about the Dodgers. I think it's bad optics. I don't think you name a manager the day that they're celebrating in Los Angeles, but it's obviously coming at any day now if they've conducted second interviews. But it has been very quiet. No reporting other than Kevin Acee. Very limited reporting on the Padres managerial search. So hopefully we'll have an answer at some point here this week, not last week. All right, what is the latest with some of these Padres free agents? We'll get into that. But we did promise you Aztec tickets. Caller 7, you've got 2 free tickets for tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. The Aztecs opener against Long Beach State is tomorrow at 7. You can hear it on 760. And caller 7, you are going. Call right now, 877-767-4760. Limited tickets if they remain at goaztecs.com. I think just a couple hundred remained this weekend. They would be at goaztecs.com. If you want these tickets right now, call 877-767-4760. 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Viejas Arena. Latest on the Padres managerial search. The latest on Michael King and Robert Suarez and other prospective Padres free agents. Coming up next on John and Jim.
This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. San Diego State over the weekend beat Wyoming. They have now won 6 in a row, and they're atop the Mount West Conference alone in first place. Next up, a trip to Hawaii this upcoming weekend. SDFC lost a heartbreaker to Portland Saturday night. The series is now tied up with a win or go home game 3 back at Snapdragon Stadium on Sunday night. And the Aztecs basketball team tips off their season tomorrow night at Viejas Arena versus Long Beach State. Tip time is at 7 p.m. Of course, you can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you'll find everything you need for the holidays, all for under $35 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
All right, tons of giveaways today. Great guests as well. Dave Velasquez, longtime Aztec assistant, gets us ready for tomorrow at 3:30. Will Brinson gets us ready for Monday Night Football that you can hear on 760. He'll join us at 4. And Chris Hodge back with us, free picks for our listeners at 4:30. But why don't we do this, Brian? Let's give away a 4-pack of tickets plus a $50 gift card to Snow Jam later this hour.
Okay.
Do you want to do that? We'll do that coming up. A 4-pack of tickets.
You didn't say where you have to go. Snow Jam.
Snow Jam.
Snow Jam.
4-pack of tickets plus a $50 gift card to Snow Jam. That's November 7th through the 9th at Del Mar Fairgrounds. Okay, we have a lot of giveaways. A lot of great giveaways. We'll tell you how to win that coming up at some point in the next 10 minutes or so. This got a good amount of chatter, I thought unnecessarily, Jim, over the course of the weekend. Now that the baseball season's officially over, Jim fact.
Wait, what?
Players can now opt in or out of contracts as the season is over.
Yeah.
So we learned that Michael King didn't opt into a mutual deal with the Padres for another year, as expected.
Shocker.
And we also learned that Robert Suarez, with 2 years remaining on his deal, opted out of his deal, but also almost a guarantee throughout the course of the season. That's what people were saying, including us. Yeah. So the things that were expected to occur, King not opting in, Suarez opting out with 2 years remaining, both of those happened, but they were always expected to happen.
Maybe it wasn't like a 100% certainty that Robert Suarez would opt out. I think everybody wanted that to happen, especially after the Mason Miller trade.
Yeah.
Because you free up some money that you can go and spend elsewhere.
Good point. Yeah.
The Michael King one, I thought, and you thought as well, 100% expected. There's no way he was going to opt in. Unless he had like a major injury.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, exactly right. You wouldn't have wanted it, is the point. Right. You're right. If he had an injury and was going to miss all of next year, guess what? You're paying him. You're on the hook for it.
Yeah. But he's going to go out and he's going to look for a big time contract. And he finished his year on a good note in the postseason.
Right.
Albeit it was one inning.
One inning, yeah.
Which is still a crazy decision to me by the organization.
Right. Darvish over King is how the season ended.
And you chose the wrong person. Now you look at this upcoming offseason. Obviously, first things first. Is AJ Preller going to stick around? Who the hell is the new manager? Once those things get resolved, we look towards the field. Mm-hmm. And I think that the money that is being freed up with Robert Suarez gone, Luis Ariz is $14 million. Like that's gone, right? He's a free agent. Dylan Cease, not bringing him back. You also have the money off the books from the Eric Hosmer deal, which is great. You do have some increases in salaries from like Nick Pivetta, I believe Fernando Tatis Jr., and maybe some others, arbitrations and whatnot. But what I'm getting to is that the Padres have money to spend this offseason, unlike the last two. And so with money to spend, realizing that you can't stand pat and try to keep on doing what you've been doing the last 2 years to get by when you got the behemoth up north, which is still going to probably spend a bunch of money this offseason as well to try to go three-peat. You need to spend money. Padres need to go out and like pay Michael King. If they really want to keep Michael King, they need to go pay him. They need to go find other pieces and spend some money. If they don't spend any money this offseason, John, that's a complete and utter joke from John Seiler and the organization.
There's no reason to think they won't. Because when I think about the Padres over the last 5 or 6 years, and a lot of this is Peter, but when I think about the Padres, I don't think they're trying to go cheap. Now, I don't think they're trying to do what LA's doing. So I think there's a middle ground. But I would guess, and I'd be very surprised if I'm wrong here. I would guess the Padres payroll next year is very similar to their payroll in 2025. And I'd be very surprised if it took a real drop. And because of that, I agree with the fact that you better go get Michael King or someone that can be Michael King of 2024. So you either go get Michael King. Now, I don't want to give him some 7-year deal either. You need to be smart, but you need to be aggressive. And if you can get Michael King back and you know his medical history is okay at this point, then go get Michael King or someone similar, because starting pitching, always a key part of the story with the Padres. They've run out of it a lot. The Darvish thing is not going to end well. You need someone that's capable of being that 30 start, 3 ERA, number 1 or number 2. Now, he wasn't that this year, but he was in 2024. So to me, it starts with Michael King. I'm not saying it ends there. Go find someone comparable if it's not Michael King. But the broader picture for me, Jim, I'd be very surprised if the Padres payroll took some drastic drop in 2026. I'd be shocked, actually. I'd be shocked.
Michael King was that guy until he slept wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
He was having a fantastic year, and it was a better year
than 2024.
But injuries are a part of the sport. Sleeping wrong apparently is a part of the sport now too. The only pause and concern I have, and it's a big one, I don't know anything about John Seidler. I don't know if he's that guy to be willing to write a big check or multiple big checks. Like
Merrill.
Merrill.
It's a big check.
It's a big check. But what was the biggest talking point around that contract as throughout baseball?
Team friendly.
Exactly. So can you go out and are you going to spend money? Are you going to write the big checks? Because you got to put your money where your mouth is here. And that's my concern, because I don't know jack squat about John. Nobody does. He doesn't speak.
That's true.
He won't speak. He's scared to speak. So
that's fair.
Speak with your pockets. Speak with your checkbook. And if you go out and you spend a bunch of money, then guess what? Nobody cares what you sound like. Nobody's going to care about if you speak or not. As long as you go out and spend money, that's all people want to talk about, and that's all people care about for Padres fans.
I agree with what you're saying. You're right. It's not a guarantee. I personally would be surprised if they didn't spend the money that they spent in 2025. And I think what we have to do is at least give them the next 60 days. Like we can't say, I mean, we can, but it's November 1st. There's no money to be spent. There's no money to be spent as of yet.
Not right now.
So once free agency is underway, are the Padres aggressive and active, or are they slow playing it like they have? You're right. Last offseason, a lot of money committed. They committed nothing. They signed Connor Joe. Congratulations. You know, I mean, they're going to have to be way more aggressive. Jason Hayward. Yeah. They're going to have to be way more aggressive. They have more holes.
Yes, the last 2 years, by the way, because the last 2 years, they had to do a money dump.
That's right.
Because they didn't want to keep Juan Soto.
We had the instability post Peter 2 off seasons ago. Then we still had questions heading into this past season.
Right. The last time the Padres in the Nick Pivetta deal this past off season,
nothing.
I know the number said what 4 or 5 for 55, or I think it was 4 for 55.
Yeah, something like that.
That's not really what it was,
right?
Because he has an opt out for the next year,
right?
Now his salary goes from, I believe, $2 million to like 20 plus, which is a sizable jump. But still, it's not a long term like break the bank type of deal that other teams might be making. So that's one of my biggest things with this offseason to watch is we all know the Padres have money. They have money. They're selling out Petco every single night. Like the jerseys are flying off the shelves. They're going to have these new City Connect 2.0 jerseys coming up for next year. Those things are going to sell like hotcakes. All right. Merchandise, ticket gate, food concession, everything is through the roof right now.
Other than television.
Well,
which is a big
we all knew that was obviously a problem, and it's a problem for a lot of teams other than the Dodgers. But what I'm trying to get to is like they got money to spend. So are you going to go spend it, or are you going to be cheap? Because if you're cheap, I got no hope for these guys. None.
That's why it would surprise me. I think with the way they've drawn and what they're up against, I think at a bare minimum, you spend what you've spent is what I would say. Now, are you going to spend like the Dodgers? No chance in hell, right? No. You're not going to be top 3 in payroll again. They were under Peter. It didn't work out. But can they be top 10 in payroll? And I think the answer is yes. And I think you can win at that payroll. The issue is if they all of a sudden become bottom 12,
Oh, well, then.
right? Because you can't go from third, which is where you were with Peter, to eighth to then 18th. Like you're going to have to stay in that top 10 range. And I think they're fully capable of being that team. To your point, selling tickets, selling merchandise, creating revenue. They're not creating that TV revenue, but they're creating enough revenue to hopefully be one of the top 10 spenders in the sport. I'd be surprised if they weren't to start 2026.
The two teams in this World Series, Dodgers, top 2, top 3 payroll.
Yep.
Blue Jays, top
Big
6,
time
top
spenders.
7 payroll.
Yep.
That's it's how the sport is, and I know the narrative of the Dodgers are ruining the sport. Why that is out there is because they are afforded these benefits that baseball has not regulated to make it more even throughout the rest of baseball.
Sure.
And also, it's not what the Dodgers are doing, it's what other teams aren't doing. Like the Pirates and the Marlins and the A's and whoever else you want to put out there as teams that aren't spending money. When we see the numbers that are being reported, baseball is in a good spot. They're making a bunch of money. These teams are making money, and the owners are deciding not to spend. And that's the biggest problem.
To be clear, here's Spot Track 2025 final salaries of all 30 teams. One spot higher than the Blue Jays, the San Diego Padres. And they will finish the year 6th in spending. The team that finishes the year with the most spend is the Dodgers over the Mets. And they are rewarded for it with another title.
Hey,
but the Padres were 6th in overall spending, 90 and 72 last year. That's enough to win.
And when you spend as much as the Dodgers, you're expected to win.
You are, absolutely.
And when you don't win, it's an epic failure. So, like, they spent the most money. They won the World Series as they were expected. They were always the favorites. They were never the underdogs. And yeah, I know it feels like it was inevitable because it's, they have this devil magic that they're now, sitting around and spawning. It's like, it's ridiculous, but you have to spend money to win. And if you don't spend money, good luck. It's not going to work out good for you.
The issue for the Padres is they have spent money and they haven't won at the clip that you'd like them to win.
Well, then, yeah. And that's also a big problem is they're spending money, but you're not spending money on the right players.
Exactly.
And the players you've already spent money on, they come up small in the biggest moments all the time.
And they're getting older and they're making more per year moving forward. All right, call right now if you want that 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam, November 7th through the 9th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. A 4-pack of tickets plus a $50 gift card. Call 877-767-4760. This is 3 days only at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Caller 3, you are going. This is Friday through Sunday. Here's what you get with admission. Entrance to all 3 days of the expo. Free and deeply discounted lift tickets to SoCal resorts, including Big Bear. And you're going to get a lot more than that as well. Gigantic selection of preseason deals on brand new, brand name equipment and clothing from all the top manufacturers, experts on site to help you get the right gear. Then take it home and you're ready to go. Save hundreds just by attending Snow Jam. You can go to snowjam.com. Snowjamshow.com. Snowjamshow.com for event info and special deals on admission. And again, call right now. Caller 3, you're going. 877-767-4760. We'll give away Aztec tickets on the other side, plus more reactions to the Dodgers winning the World Series and the Padres offseason well underway after this on John and Jim. All right, Aztecs basketball back. The season tips off tomorrow night. Pre-game coverage at 6. I'll have the tip coming up at 7 p.m. right here in your home for the Aztecs. San Diego Sports 760. In fact, if you want to go to the game, we're giving away another pair of tickets in about 6 or 7 minutes. And we'll give away pairs between now and 4:45 when our pregame coverage begins for Monday Night Football tonight. So we have 5 more pairs of tickets to give away, including a pair we'll give away in about 6 or 7 minutes. So be listening for that right here on John and Jim.
6 or 7.
Did I say that?
You did.
Get it?
I know, but I know you didn't.
I had no clue.
You had no clue what you were doing.
None. Did you see the ridiculous? You've seen it all.
What?
Did you know where? I don't even want to go where I'm going with it.
What ridiculous stuff?
This is just all the 6 or 7 stuff.
It's everywhere.
Because it's all been tied also to the World Series.
Oh,
Game
yeah.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Yeah. I didn't see anything from.
They had Roki on the
parade
plane.
today.
Roki on the plane with like Blake Snell and someone. They were like, Roki, what games did we win? It's just the whole thing.
Okay. And now it's gone. Like Halloween was like the last day for it to like
Yes.
be anything. But then when I saw like everybody was 6'7", I was like, what were we doing?
I know.
The joke is over, guys. It's done.
It can't
It's
be
dead.
back in 2026.
No.
It's dead.
It is. It's so dead. It's done. It's over.
Do you know what K-pop demon hunters are?
What are you talking about?
Okay, Brent does. All the kids at Jones's school were wearing K-pop demon hunter.
No
Halloween
clue.
it's-
No clue.
I don't know.
It's a Netflix show.
I watched it, dude. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
K-pop
Demon Hunter. Demon Hunters.
It's-
Please put it on.
It's Japanese anime,
Okay.
only
for like
with
7-year-olds.
K-pop.
Dude,
So picture Japanese anime with annoying K-pop music.
Is
going
there-
on
it's
throughout it.
insane.
Is there a character in there with like purple hair?
Yes. All
Okay.
the girls were wearing the long purple, like braided hair.
Because one of my best friend's daughter, she was that character.
I think if you're between 6 and 10 years of age, there were a lot of those costumes this year.
I didn't get it. Like I was like, wait, what? Oh,
Finally,
no.
something you don't get in
Oh,
like pop
no.
culture for 7-year-olds.
You know what this means, right?
You need to have a kid.
You're old.
And you're old.
I've officially entered the I'm old stage of my life,
Well,
not
like-
knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Welcome to the club.
Dude,
Oh my
7-year-olds.
gosh.
7-year-olds are doing it. You shouldn't really know.
But you know me, I know everything.
I know you do know everything.
I know and see it all. And
It's
it's
true.
for you to say that
Do you
to
know
me.
about K-pop demon hunters?
I-
You need to know.
I
Dude,
swear
you need to get out more.
I didn't. I knew nothing
Why don't
about
you-
that, dude.
Why don't you just like walk the streets of San Diego and just hang out with kids? Is that weird?
That's a little
It's a
weird.
little weird.
Should I get my
Just
white
get your white
van?
van and
yeah.
just- Like,
Get all the
surprise-
can-
hey
get all-
kids.
Yeah, get all the extra
That's
candy
candy.
from. I got all the candy over here. Want to come hang out? That you want me to do that?
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Now that I say it, it's a bad idea.
Very bad idea.
All right, so you thought it was a bad weekend for Padres fans, but maybe it wasn't because reliever Wandy Peralta has opted in. So Wandy Peralta has opted into his player option for the 2026 season. As per Annie Halbrin earlier, I think he's due to make around $4.5 million in 2026. So there's one piece of the puzzle for San Diego next year. They have a lot. Honestly, they have a lot of their core returning, not their entire core. I would say Robert Suarez has been a part of their core the last couple of years. I would say Michael King has been a part of their core the last couple of years, but they do have a lot of their core returning. And yes, I'm joking when I'm talking about Wandy Peralta, but truth be told, he actually had a fine year. He actually had a good year for the
He
Padres
did have
in
a good
relief.
year for this team.
And it sounds like he'll be back in 2026.
Well, the bullpen looks as such: Mason Miller, Jeremiah Estrada, Jason Adam, Wandy Peralta.
Will Adam be
David
ready
Morgan.
to go when the season starts? I thought there was some questions about that,
Maybe not right away, but
which is fine.
he's going to pitch for them next year.
But think about it, that's a significant injury that's
Yeah.
going to cover months upon months.
Blow out your quad. At least it wasn't his arm.
True.
Yeah.
He'll be back, but it might not be March
Right away.
30th or whatever.
But just like
He's a huge
hopefully
piece.
by the end of like next year, when you get to the postseason, hopefully
He's 100%.
you still have Estrada, Adam, Miller, Wandy Peralta, David Morgan. I'm probably missing a couple there, but like that's a pretty good back in the bullpen. And one of Preller's strengths, if he's back,
Right.
is building bullpens and always having closers and always going out and finding bullpen pieces to help out.
Their bullpen was terrific. It really was. Their bullpen the last 2 years has been outstanding.
Yep.
But the
Health
issue
is a
that they've
big
run into,
thing and
and the issue they've run into, I mean, not to go beat a dead horse,
use too much.
Yes, and they're in these decisive games. Your bullpen's not saving you. Like, how many years in a row do we need to watch them play where they're trailing in a decisive game and you could have the greatest bullpen in baseball history? It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, look, the Dodgers just won a World Series by the skin of their teeth with a really bad offense in the World Series.
And with starting pitching, kind of. I mean, Blake Snell obviously didn't pitch well, but Yamamoto did.
Well, Blake Snell pitched well when they needed it in Game 7.
Sure.
And, that could have ended
that
very poorly for them.
I mean, their season was on the line, to your point. Runner at second with nobody out in the 8th inning. Blake Snell was on the mound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he didn't give up a run.
Correct.
And then I think it was in 11th when he threw a changeup and Vladdy just missed it. It was like a warning track bomb.
Dude, he just missed it.
Just missed it.
Yep.
Like he knew it too.
Yep.
Everybody knew it.
Yep.
That pitch, if his bat maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing is gone. World Series over. Blue Jays win again.
2 inches. Isaiah Kiner Falefa.
Less than that.
An inch.
Maybe less than that.
Yeah. I didn't imagine if it was overturned. Now, it should not have been.
Thank goodness it wasn't, because that would have been a crazy ending to the World Series.
I was jumping up and down in my kitchen because at first I'm like, oh, he's out, of course. But when they showed the replay and I saw Will Smith initially was off the plate, and somehow, to his damn credit, to get that foot down so quickly after missing the plate initially. Yeah. Again, you can't have a closer play than that.
I was rooting for a safety squeeze down the World Series.
Imagine that, dude. And what they bases loaded, one out. Honestly, that's what you want for that bowling ball professional hitter, right? Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had what they needed.
It wasn't Kirk, it was Varsho. Varsho is one of
it's Varsho.
Varsho is one of the goats, and not like the good type of goat, like the bad type of goats of the World Series for the Blue Jays. Defensively, he was really good. Saved a couple runs. I think it was in Game 6 or 7. But at the plate, Dalton Varsho was pathetic.
So many chances, right?
So many chances, and he never came through. Just the absolute worst at bats you'll ever see from that dude. And the fact that the bases loaded with 1 out.
Well, you knew. I told Chris, and I'm like, the one thing they have going
run
for
at
them,
third. Like
I said, the one thing is you can't, no ground ball here.
Can't have a ground ball. What do?
Ground ball, right?
Ground ball,
short,
right to Miguel Rojas, who, by the way, didn't handle it cleanly at first. He fell backwards.
Oh, I was talking about the double play that ended the game. That was Kirk, right?
That was Kirk.
That was the bases loaded.
No,
or was it first and third? Well, whatever. Tying run was at third. It's the same situation.
First and third, 1 out.
Same situation. You need a run.
Same situation. Need a run. But I feel like
Varsho's worse because you could have won the game right there.
Yeah, it was all you had to do. That's what I was like kind of thinking to myself. I'm like, look, this guy, the odds of him hitting a fly ball probably pretty low because he sucks.
Just hit it somewhere where they're not.
Dude, I was thinking like Mike Schilt.
Please?
I was thinking like Mike Schilt.
I mean, I don't hate it. Now, I love it now.
You just lay down a bunt, send the runner scores. Who cares about the out at first? Because they're going to have to try to go at home. They have to make a perfect play.
But it was a force.
I know it was a force.
Force makes it easier to make that play.
You're right. But also, if you're sending him on contact, by the way, it probably wouldn't have worked out anyway because Kiner Falefa is one of the worst base runners known to man. And every pinch runner that the Blue Jays had this series never scored and always messed up. So, yeah, it wouldn't have worked. It would have been stupid.
With hindsight, imagine winning a World Series on a safety squeeze. It would have been, Mike Schilt would have been pulling his back out somewhere on a couch. All right, call right now if you want free Aztec tickets for tomorrow, the opener for the men's basketball team at Viejas Arena against Long Beach State. Caller 6, you've got 2 free tickets, 877-767-4760. Call right now, limited tickets if available at goaztecs.com. Let's touch on San Diego State football on the other side. They've won 6 consecutive games. Dave Velasquez, Aztec men's basketball assistant, will join us at 3:30. Much more in the World Series and the aftermath as well. Hour 2 of John and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 coming up next.
All right, this update is brought to you by the West Automotive Group. We'll start with San Diego State football. They have now won 6 in a row with their victory over Wyoming over the weekend. They're on top of the Mountain West Conference, undefeated at 4-0. Next up, a trip to Hawaii this upcoming Saturday night. SDFC lost a heartbreaker to Portland Saturday night. The series is now tied up at 1 game apiece with a win or go home game 3 back at Snapdragon Stadium on Sunday night. And the Aztecs basketball team tips off their season tomorrow at Viejas Arena versus Long Beach State. Tip time is at 7 p.m. You can listen to the game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Time is money, and there's no good time for your vehicle to break down. Keep your car and your schedule running smoothly with the West Automotive Group. The highest quality of customer service and vehicle repair. Visit westautomotivegroup.com to book your appointment today.
Another statement for the Aztecs.
Handoff for Napier with blockers out in front. Breaks the tackle and scores.
SDFC comes so close.
Portland wins the penalty kick shootout 3-2. They win the match, and there will be a decisive winner-take-all game 3.
They did it again.
The throw to first, double play. The Dodgers cement their dynasty. Not even a real country anyway.
Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of John and Jim. We've got pregame Monday Night Football coverage beginning at 4:45. We've got great guests for you over the next hour and a half or 2 hours. Dave Velasquez, longtime San Diego State basketball assistant, gets us ready for tomorrow night. Aztecs men's basketball opener. He'll join us at 3:30. We'll give away 2 pairs of tickets this hour to see San Diego State tomorrow. So be listening for those tickets. We'll give away a pair of those tickets in the next 20 minutes or so. Will Brinson will join us from CBS Sports at 4 p.m. We'll talk about the NFL and Monday Night Football and the injury to Jaden Daniels and more at 4 p.m. with Will Brinson. Chris Hodge has free picks for our listeners coming up at 4:30.
Are you surprised that we are going to go through an entire weekend, presumably, where ESPN and Disney still hasn't resolved their issues with YouTube TV yet?
Stand by. Open the iHeartRadio app for these SDFC tickets, because I'm told to promote these right now. SDFC, we're qualifying listeners for SDFC tickets for Sunday decisive playoff game that they have to win against Portland.
Kind of
if you want to qualify.
If they lose, they're not playing anymore.
Right. So you could argue it's a must-win game.
It's a must-win game, John.
Okay, you're going to argue it.
I will argue that.
Sunday, if you want to see SDFC Portland in a must-win game, we have 2 free tickets. You can qualify to win those tickets by opening the app, find San Diego Sports 760, tap the red talkback mic, leave us a voice message just with your name and where you're from. That's it. Then make 760 your number 1 preset on the app and on your car radio. Only way to win and to qualify is open the iHeartRadio app. Click the red microphone icon. Tell us your name and where you're from, and you are eligible to win those 2 free tickets. I have an update on the story you're referring to, the YouTube TV and Disney standoff.
Yeah.
In like the streaming wars. So this from the Sports Business Journal. They actually got it from The Athletic. The Athletic reporting today that Disney and YouTube are still, quote unquote, far apart on the central issue of the price per subscriber that YouTube TV will pay Disney for its content. This, according to The Athletic from earlier today. It's now been multiple days. I think it's been most impactful so far, correct me if I'm wrong, for SEC college football fans. You would have missed every SEC game this weekend, either on ESPN or on ABC. And now tonight, you, of course, switch gears to the NFL, and a massive property and brand in the Dallas Cowboys is playing here tonight. So this is going to impact all sports fans. It is ESPN. Mm-hmm. I'm holding it out. I'm holding out. I'm keeping YouTube TV. I love YouTube TV. I hate what's happening here. And I'm sure they have some of the blame in it as well. But I'm just going to assume, Jim, it gets resolved at some point moving forward. But yeah, it's concerning.
I don't really care about tonight, to be honest with you. I have the Sunday ticket. So,
yeah,
you know, I kind of have to keep it, right?
Right. Because it's through YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can watch San Diego State on CBS Sports, so that's fine.
Yep.
I don't care about any programming on ESPN other than live play-by-play, so I'm not missing out there.
Going to miss the NBA this week.
The NBA will be something that will annoy me. That's
NBA
for
Cup.
sure.
These are NBA Cup games.
Only if the Warriors are on ESPN. Because if they are, and I can't watch it, then it will annoy me.
Group of death games.
Group of death games. You're
Right.
right. But I'm with you. I'm going to hold out.
I'm going to hold out.
But if they do come back to the table and YouTube TV caves to ESPN and Disney
And raises prices?
then I think I'm out. After the NFL
Interesting.
season.
So you'll hold the line now because you expect to eventually get your channels back. But if you get your channels back, you don't want them to be at any additional cost. So you're basically in the corner of YouTube TV's argument, which is we don't want to pass along the price increase to our customer.
Right, because ESPN is greedy, so is YouTube TV. But ESPN is doing this because they have their own stupid app now. And because they have this stupid little app, they are holding YouTube TV hostage to have YouTube TV pay them more to distribute ESPN on YouTube TV, because in the long run, they're banking on, hey, you need us more than we need you because we have this little app now that we're putting all of our content on, which we're trying to drive everybody to go get.
Which is funny you say that because Awful Announcing had it today. I don't know where it was initially, and I saw this earlier and I just found it again. It's Disney that's losing $5 million a day by not having a deal with YouTube. Why? Because they're paid by subscriber. And now that they don't have those subscribers,
They're gone.
every day that Disney doesn't get a deal done, and this is one of those, they're willing to lose a battle to win a war. They're losing $5 million a day. For example, 10 days, $50 million. 100 days is $500 million. It'll be resolved obviously before then. But YouTube TV isn't right now really losing a penny. They're going to refund their customers $20 a month currently. So maybe they're losing some money. But Disney, for every day they're not on YouTube TV, it's costing the company $5 million. So like this thing's gotten ugly.
Yeah.
This stuff has happened for a long time. Like, oh, DirecTV's got an issue with Fox and Spectrum has an issue with, just name it. This stuff's been going on for decades. This is as public as I remember one that's reached like the social media space where there's a ton of vitriol. Like there's people like, I hate Disney. And then there's other like, I hate YouTube. And I love, there's a lot being said right now. It's very public. There's tweets getting thousands and thousands and thousands of likes and all these reactions. I don't recall a similar standoff to this. It'll be resolved. The question is when, and to your point, is the price going to go up for YouTube TV?
Yeah, when you start messing with people's sports,
Exactly.
especially in the SEC, especially just, NFL fans in general, like you're messing with Monday Night Football.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, if you're a Cowboys fan and you have YouTube TV, you're screwed tonight unless you go and you switch it up or you buy the ESPN app and you cave.
Objectively speaking, across America in the Big Four, Dallas is right there. I don't care whether they win or lose.
Cowboys are,
The Dallas Cowboys are right there with the most viewed product in the history of American sports.
Yeah.
So here's a night where you can't watch the Dallas That is odd. You can't watch the Dallas Cowboys?
Only if you decide not to get the ESPN app if you have YouTube TV. If you have like
No.
DirecTV, which, I'm not doing that.
Hold the line.
I'm
I'm
holding-
not doing that.
Now, if they come back to the table and they say, we've reached an agreement, but
$5 more a month. You're going to cancel? Then what are you going to do? Buy the ESPN app for $30 a month?
$5, I won't be happy.
I know.
I mean, it went from like $49.99 to like $69.99 to now $82.
That's a great point.
Eventually, we're going to get to a day where this thing is going to be just as much as cable was or is. And the whole purpose of streaming is so I don't have to get cable anymore.
Look at this. ChatGPT, what has been the cost of YouTube TV since launching? 2017, $35 a month.
Yeah.
Today, $82.99 in 8 years.
I mean, it's crazy. Now, it's still cheaper than cable.
Sure, but then, of course, the thing is with cable is you don't need the internet. Now, we all have to have the internet, but with YouTube TV, you have to have the internet. So I'm spending,
True.
you know what I spend on the internet because of like the wrap-up show, and it
Yeah.
still sucks.
Yeah.
I spent $125 with Spectrum.
Yeah, I spend I think I spend like 110.
It's a lot of money. Just with internet?
Yeah.
Plus this $82.99.
Yeah.
Now, when you add those two up, you're way past cable. $200?
It's
I know.
It's I hate it, but I am basically like, don't see if I don't see it,
I
it's
agree.
not affecting me. Like just take it. Because if I have to see it every day, blaring in my face how much money I'm spending, it's gonna make me really seriously consider different alternatives.
No,
here.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. All right, coming up at 3:30, Dave Velasquez, longtime San Diego State men's basketball assistant. We've got pairs of Aztec tickets to give away all day long, including how about right now? Call right now if you want 2 free tickets to tomorrow's game at Viejas Arena. You can hear it on San Diego Sports 760. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen at sportssd.com, or you can attend. Caller 5. We have 2 free tickets for you. San Diego State, Long Beach State, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Get there by being caller 5 right now, 877-767-4760. If you don't grab tickets now, more chances to win later this hour and next, and limited tickets if available at goaztecs.com. Dave Velasquez at 3:30. More in the World Series fallout coming up next on John and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is John and Jim again for the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. It is now open. The hotel and spa at Hamul Casino Resort. It's the next level of luxury. It's arrived. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and all the thrills of Hamul Casino Resort. Now all in one unforgettable destination.
Yeah, savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Hamul 23, from our world famous lobster brunch served every morning to the luxurious VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulge in chef curated specialties, fresh seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
You're going to love the spa. You can unwind in style, experience pure relaxation with indulgent treatments, serene spaces, and a retreat designed to refresh your body and mind. You can learn more at hamulcasino.com/spa. Check it out. The all new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, John and Jim. Dave Velasquez, longtime Aztec assistant, gets us ready for tomorrow night. San Diego State basketball back with all these expectations. San Diego State football, by the way, as Jim has been saying in the updates, like, oh, by the way, six straight wins, sole possession of first place in the Mountain West. So a lot of work in front of them, including this weekend at Hawaii. Game you can hear on San Diego Sports 760. Then next weekend they get back for Boise. But like, oh, by the way, one of the like premier turnarounds in America has happened here to this point, from 3-9 to 7-1. Certainly on the fringes of the college football playoff conversation. And by the way, as I say, by the way, again, by the way,
Okay.
6-7. By the way, the college football playoff rankings come out tomorrow night.
Oh, then they're not going to be there again.
Not in them, you're saying?
No. First things first.
Says no. Yeah.
All right?
You're probably right.
First things first.
Is what?
Well, take care of business on Saturday
sure.
against Hawaii.
Well, no, first things first is the college football playoff rankings come out.
I meant for San Diego State.
Agreed.
They're not going to be in the college football rankings. They're just not. I would be very surprised, pleasantly surprised, if all of a sudden San Diego State showed up. Be like, what?
25th?
What? Maybe.
Because it's not the AP. But no, your point's valid. They've been on the outside looking in. They've been under the radar for 7-1.
Yeah, and I like that. Stay
Me
there.
too.
Now, if you continue to win, and if they beat Boise State at home, and then they do actually have like the inside track and a little bit of a stranglehold on the Mountain West Conference.
If they
after
won the next
Boise
couple of
State,
games, yeah.
Then we can start talking.
Yep.
But just their performance alone, the last 6 weeks, and frankly, 7 of the last 8.
Yeah, 7 of the last 8.
Like, well, I don't. Maybe not the NIU game, but defensively,
true.
they have been nothing short of incredible. It has been so fun to watch just the defense of this team, because they're making plays, they're flying around to the ball, they're making crazy interceptions. Like
Crazy.
The defense is leading the way, but also the offense is showing up as well. This is not just like they're winning every game 9-6, 9-3. They're putting up
big plays.
They're putting up points, and they have the big play capabilities with Lucky Sutton, Jaden Denigal, Jordan Napier. Denigal's banged up.
Yep.
So it's not like the easiest watch right now with him. But the fact that they have Lucky Sutton, they have great running backs, they have a really good play caller in Sean Lewis.
The offensive line, I think, has been really good.
The offensive line's been good. They have the ability to break one any moment. And that's what I like about this offense for sure.
How about this? So they beat Wyoming 24-7, and their head coach today at his press conference, Wyoming's Jay Sauvel, 6 years in the Mountain West. He said today, in his 6 years in the Mountain West, no defense is as good as San Diego State's in 2025. Now, the one thing that San Diego State will now deal with that they didn't deal with as much in the first half is A, there's no bye weeks, and B, they're banged up. To your point on Jaden Denigal, he's been banged up. He was questionable. Yeah, they lose Tano Latuli, their outstanding linebacker. We don't know the extent of the injury. It did not look good. So I have to assume he's not playing this weekend. Shoot, he may not play again this year based on what we saw on field. So
what did he hurt? I didn't see that.
It's lower body. I don't know if it's leg. I don't know if it's knee, if it's ankle, if it's somewhere in between, but it didn't look good. Now, they've overcome injuries to this point, but that's a big one to overcome.
Yeah.
So that's just something to consider as well. But this weekend in Hawaii is not easy. Hawaii's 6-3.
And even when Latui went out, they didn't miss a beat defensively.
Latuli.
What did I say? Latuli?
Latui? I think
it's Latui?
Latui.
Tano Latuli. Sorry.
Latuli, yeah.
I misspoke. I spoke too quickly. Tano Latuli.
That's a hard name for you to say.
It's very hard for me to say.
What if he had shoulder surgery?
Tano Latuli with shoulder surgery. Dude,
don't want
say that
man.
3 times fast.
But that's a loss and a big one. He's a heart and soul captain guy. But they've had guys that have filled in because he missed some time earlier this year.
Yeah. They're just, I mean, they are. It's crazy. You look at the Mountain West Conference standings.
Yeah.
They're in first place right now.
4-0.
Sitting alone, top of the Mountain West Conference. But it's the points forced and points allowed number where you look at and you're like, 80 points allowed, and then the next best team is like around 200.
80 points. That's not just Mount West games that Jim's talking about. That's in 8 games. That's
Yeah.
all the games they've played. They'd allowed 80 in 8 games.
8-0.
Are you a math guy? You know how many points that is per game?
About 10.
Yeah, just about.
So in the Mountain West Conference, the second best defense in the conference. Do you know this, John?
I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I would guess. I'm going to guess is like Wyoming.
Overall, Wyoming, yes. Wyoming has the second best defense overall, points allowed per game.
Okay.
Next, they've given up 182 points overall this season.
And that's second to the 80?
That's
I would guess
second.
next would be like Boise.
Boise's given up 216.
They play Notre Dame. Yeah.
And then everybody else, Wyoming's 182. Fresno and Wyoming are the only teams that have allowed under 200 points. And they're like all pushing 200.
And SDSU hasn't allowed 100.
SDSU has allowed 80 on the year and 41 in the Mountain West Conference so far in 4 games. 4 games, 41 points.
I think it gets harder. Hawaii's the lead offense with the run and shoot.
They are.
And then Boise's on hard times right now, but it's Boise. So they're capable. So we'll see. San Jose State actually is the number 1 passing offense in America. And they still have to play San Jose State. But you can't complain about where they are. And to your point, 1 game at a time. Now, will I be watching the college football playoff rankings tomorrow? You better believe I will.
Of course you will.
You better believe I will be. But you're right. Does it mean anything where you are in early November? No, it doesn't.
No, but they're on the right track. And
they are.
Just put your head down. You can't control, the uncontrollables, as Sean Lewis says. You can't control that stadium not getting packed. Like, just go out there and take care of business and go out and win as many games as possible. That's all you can control. Just play good football.
I agree. Dave Velasquez, longtime San Diego State men's basketball assistant, gets us ready for tomorrow night. And at the end of our conversation, we'll give away 2 more tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow back at Viejas Arena to open their season against Long Beach State. So Dave Velasquez on the other side. Will Brinson, CBS Sports on the NFL at 4 p.m. Chris Hodge will join the show coming up at 4:30. This is John and Jim.
This update is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. San Diego State, we just talked about it, won their 6th straight game over the weekend as they beat Wyoming. They're now atop the Mountain West Conference all alone at 4-0 in conference play. Next up, a trip to Hawaii this upcoming Saturday night. SDFC lost a heartbreaker to Portland last Saturday night. The series is now tied up at a game apiece with a winner-go-home Game 3 back at Snapdragon Stadium on Sunday night. And the Aztecs basketball team tips off their season tomorrow night at Viejas Arena against Long Beach State. Tip time is at 7 p.m. Of course, you can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. At Progressive Insurance, you can keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay, and benefits in one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today. That's careers.progressive.com.
Aztecs back in action tomorrow night. Season is here. Hard to believe. Season opener is coming up, and it's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. You can catch the action right here on San Diego Sports 760. Always great to connect with Dave Velasquez, longtime men's basketball assistant. Dave, first of all, we appreciate you taking time. Secondly, you've had a lot of opening nights in your career. What's it like this time around with this group that you and the coaching staff have assembled? How are you feeling? What's your excitement level like getting ready for another year beginning tomorrow night? And thanks for hopping on.
I appreciate you having me and just getting me. I was walking off the practice floor. So we had another good day of practice today. And yeah, we're really excited to get it going. You know, I think as you can see in our first 2 exhibition games, one against UCLA, one against the University of San Diego, you know, how important our depth is, what a luxury it is to have the depth, but at the same time, what problems that may cause down the line. I mean, I'm not still sure that Coach Dutcher knows who he's even starting tomorrow. And that's a good problem to have because we have so many good players this year. And they've worked really hard. They've really earned this opportunity to go out there and play well tomorrow, hopefully. And I thought we did a really good job of growing from our UCLA game to the University of San Diego game and then getting better at practice ever since.
What's that feeling like for you, knowing that, you know, the coach of Long Beach State is someone you work so closely with for so long, and Chris Acker, knowing you look over there and he's coaching Long Beach State, and you're probably going to see some similarities with how they run their plays and defenses. Well, what's that going to feel like, and what's that experience like for you?
No coach likes these games. Yeah. You know, it's not fun to play your friends. You know, we get really competitive. And he'll win at all costs, the same way we're going to want to win at all costs. But, you know, there is a lot of similarities in terms of the X's and O's. I mean, Coach Acker was just an unbelievable assistant for us, one of the best we've ever had here, and, you know, did a great job here. You know, that earned him a head coaching job at Long Beach State, which these head coaching jobs are hard to get. And he earned the one he has right now, and his team is very connected. There's the defensive scheme is very similar to ours. Offensively, it's a little different, but defensively, I mean, we're going to be playing a lot like ourselves at practice. So it's going to be something we're familiar with, but at the same time, we know how hard it is to score on us. And so it's going to be a challenge for us, and it's going to be something that is going to feel very similar to what we do every day.
San Diego State, Long Beach State, Viejas Arena tomorrow night at 7 p.m. A game you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760. If tickets remain, limited tickets would be at goaztecs.com. So I go back to this offseason coaching, and you spent a good amount of time with Miles Bird throughout that NBA combine process. Having gone through that and now seeing where Miles is heading into his 4th college year, how will this experience of the offseason potentially benefit him this season?
Well, I think what it's done is it's allowed Miles to, just mentally mature in terms of, you know, what do the NBA want to see and what does he need to improve on this season for himself? And I think one of the biggest thing is his consistency, you know, that we don't ride too many waves of great, you know, games and then some games of not so great games. And I think just him being more consistent, he's been much more consistent at practice in terms of his, not just physical approach, but his mental approach. And he's the leader of this team, and guys rally behind him. And you know, skill-wise, to continue to just take care of the ball, you know, make smart plays, make the right plays, not always have to make the home run plays. And Miles has done a good job with that. And then defensively, he's just got to be himself, you know, protect the rim, get steals, get out in passing lanes. He has such great defensive instincts. We don't want to hold him back too much, but at the same time, he's got to be smart about how much, what Coach Fisher used to call smart aggressive in his defensive play.
We talked to Reese Waters last week, and it's like getting a new player. I mean, you didn't have him last year, and now he's back for you guys this year. And his game obviously, and the things that he's improved on this year off since his injury. How big is it to have a guy like Reese Waters back into the fold here, knowing this guy is just a bona fide scorer for you?
Absolutely. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was our leading scorer in our 2 exhibition games, against UCLA and University of San Diego. I mean, he's a guy that really can just go get a bucket. He's one of those guys that some days the offense, the team's going to be doing really well. They're going to be trying to take you out of your flow, but he's the one guy that you could trust that can just raise up and knock down a bucket. And that's a huge strength of ours for our team this year, having Reese out there. We've already seen it in the 2 games we've played. We see it every day at practice. His ability to score the ball is just an elite level. And the other part of this is he's an older, college player at this point. He's been through a lot. He's seen a lot. When he comes to practice, he understands what we're trying to work on. He can help the younger guys. And he's a guy that's he's had so many games under his belt and so much practice that this is really his turn to hopefully play the best basketball of his life as we move forward.
Dave Velasquez with us right now, longtime Aztec assistant, getting ready for San Diego State, Long Beach State tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So I've said this before about some of these recent freshman classes where they don't look like freshmen. We said that last year, I think, with Taj and Farrow. They didn't physically look like freshmen. They looked like guys that could have been upperclassmen. I mean, you say the same now watching LZ Harrington and watching Tay Simmons, just seeing how they've been incorporated and what they've, how they've impacted these games, these exhibition games. How do you feel about that group, LZ and Tay, and their potential impact to start the year?
We never really know with freshmen, but I will say this: with last year's group, with Taj and Farrell, we did not expect them to come in and basically what people would say, wait their turn. We expect them to be on the floor, be players for us when they got here. And there's a level of talent, and there's a level of what we've seen for when they got in high school, and then when they get here, and there's no difference with LZ and Tay, and you've seen it already. I mean, Tay's ability to be physical, to rebound the basketball, to play with his high motor. When things start, the more games he gets under the belt, the more comfortable he'll be. And the hardest positions to play in college basketball is actually is being a big. That you learn so much through the time of being out there, through game reps, and I know he'll continue to get better. And then LZ Harrington is he can do so much with that great size. He has an unbelievable change of pace, and he has a high basketball IQ. So as a freshman, again, you can trust that you can put the ball in his hands. I thought the University of San Diego game, he did a really good job playing a point guard position for us. I mean, just his ability to get in the paint and make plays for others, play downhill. And then defensively, he's blessed with the length and athleticism that he can make plays defensively. So, yeah, we're excited about both of them. We're expecting both of them to be great contributors this year.
When we talked to Dutch last week about the depth of your team, I mean, you mentioned, I don't even know if Dutch knows who's going to start on tomorrow night. But, navigating that and knowing you have so many pieces that could play significant time as a coaching staff, how much conversations do you guys have about all the different scenarios and lineups that you guys could deploy this year?
A lot, to be honest. We kind of got to let the first 2 games happen. In the first 2 games, we basically, 5 guys in, 5 guys out. And then we're trying to get 11th guy in quite a bit in that first half. So we've talked about it a lot, and who's going to play well with who, and it's not an easy job for Dutch this year. I mean, you've seen the talent we have, and now you got to throw in another wrinkle. We're not going to have him tomorrow, but then what happens when Magoon comes back? We talk about that a lot. You're talking about an all-league player, and so and it's going to be different for each guy. And what the thing that I'm excited about, and we've had other deep teams here. I'm not sure if we've had as deep of a team, but we've had other deep teams here. Sometimes it's just not your night. And to have somebody else that can be there, and it could be their night. And I think you're just going to see it a lot throughout the year. There's going to be a lot of different guys talking to John Schaefer after the game, who's the player of the game, which is a good thing to have. And you just don't know. And it doesn't mean if you don't start, that can't be your night. And I think that's what we'll find out throughout the year. And, it's going to take it's going to be a huge mental approach from our team to deal with that. That's not going to be easy. We went into the last season, and I'm not sure how many times, if maybe once or twice, we've even changed the starting lineup. I don't think this year is going to be like that. I think there's going to be times where we start a group, and then we come out at halftime, and there's a different group out there. You know, it's just that type of team that we have this year. And so again, like, you know, to answer your question, honestly, we talk about this stuff all day long, you know, in the offense, about when we start talking about substitution patterns and who's going to start, you know, and all those type of things. But it's a great problem to have, but it's not going to be an easy one for Coach Dutch and the rest of the staff.
Dave Velasquez with us right now. Is it one of those things, and maybe this is a dumb question, but I feel like people get so wrapped up in who starts, but at the end of the day, isn't it just as impactful to be finishing? I mean, I go back to like the national championship game. I don't think 5 starters are on the floor, right? Like, so it's a 40-minute game. It's not baseball where there's one starting pitcher and the guy goes 7 innings. I mean, you could start, play 4 minutes, but somebody else could play more minutes in the first half, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the most famous game we ever played in, the Florida Atlantic game. The guy who made the shot before Lamont, Jalen Ledee, he didn't start.
Right.
The guy who was guarding the guy that ended up getting switched on to AG was Micah Parrish. He didn't start. The guy who blocked the shot before Lamont's shot was Wickerow. He didn't start that game. And that's what I mean. There's this, the impact that all these guys can have, and it doesn't matter who is starting. It's, you know, obviously the 5 guys that are playing that best that night will be finishing the game.
Sure.
And that's a coach's job to make sure we do. But we can't go into every game like, okay, that's starting groups, the best 5. We don't know that. And that's something that we're going to try to find out throughout the year. And I'm sure there'll be some, you know, type of flow. And you want to keep guys in some type of rhythm, you know, throughout a season. But and we'll get to that. But it's not for right now. Right now is they're continuing to earn what they get, you know. And I think that will be something that will happen throughout the season. They will earn whatever opportunities that come to them.
Do you know what year this is for you at San Diego State, or if you lost track? I have your bio in front of me. Do you know what season this is about to be?
Is this 23 or 24?
It says 24, so if it's not, yell at Richard.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no, it is.
24.
I was having to do some math last night. My parents always flying for the first game, and we were talking about that last night. So I couldn't feel like I'm the most blessed, lucky coach to have 24 season openers at San Diego State, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Been a nice little 24-year run for the Aztecs on the Mesa. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's been a nice little 24-year run. Dave, appreciate you as always. We will see you tomorrow night. Cannot believe it. Tomorrow night, we'll see you and Aztec fans at VA House Arena. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. We are equally as excited, and go Aztecs.
All right, great stuff from Dave Velasquez. In fact, call right now. We have 2 free tickets for you. Caller 2.
Oh,
Caller 2. Call right now. 877-767-4760. Our gift to you. 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs take on Long Beach State tomorrow at 7 at VA House Arena.
a gift
A gift
for you.
To you. Caller 2. Will Brinson at 4 p.m. Senior NFL writer, CBS Sports. Chris Hodge at 4:30 has free picks for our listeners. Monday Night Football coverage begins at 4:45. We're with you for the next hour. This is John and Jim. All right, John and Jim. Is that good? The best and worst of the sports weekend coming up. Then Will Brinson, CBS Sports on the NFL at 4. Chris Hodge, he's got free picks for our listeners coming up at 4:30. Then we have Monday Night Football pregame coverage. You know who's playing tonight?
I do, John. Do you know who's playing tonight?
Cowboys Cardinals.
Yeah.
GOTC.
Wait, what?
Game of the century.
Oh, game of the century.
It's a big game.
Okay.
Unless you have YouTube TV, then you won't be watching it. San Diego Sports 760 congratulates our $5,000 winners. And iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Still time to nominate a public school teacher making a difference. Maybe they'll be our next winner of $5,000 to make over their classroom. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. All right, let's get to it.
Is that good?
Wilcox, snapper, Huber, holder from 29 yards away. Oh, he missed it badly. Kick on the way. Boswell. That's a winner.
The good and bad from the sports weekend.
So the Aztecs are allowing just about 10 points per game this year.
I would say, well, what's 80 points in 8 games? It's about 10.
Oh, I thought it was 81 points. Sorry. I thought that,
Now,
even though we just read it, so they're allowing 10 points per game.
roughly.
Exactly 10 points per game.
Right.
On the nose. 80 divided by 8 is 10.
Look at you, man.
Yeah, I know. Math.
God.
It's easy for me. Brent, is that good?
You're my go-to guy for like next year batting average. I was like, hey, Machado's 81 for 263. What's his batting average? You're not even gonna. I'm not gonna have you use a calculator.
81 for 263?
Yeah, what's his batting average? I have no idea.
81 for 263?
It would be like that's probably about 300.
I was going to say 81.
81 is to
times
243 is 333.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You just confused me.
I'll go easier than what you just said, which is that the Aztecs are 7-1 overall.
Oh.
Is that good?
Very good.
7-1.
We were talking before the season. We're like, hey, can they
That's
win
the
like
6
6, 7 games? They're already at 7 wins.
7-1.
7-1, 6 in a row. Just, you're right. Just one of the better stories in all of college football this year. SDFC, they blew a chance to close out Portland this past Saturday night. Is that good? No, not good. Not good at all.
So they led in this match as late as like the final minute of extra time, correct? Minute or two.
Yeah, and then they went to PKs and
They led in PKs.
they led in PKs 2-1, and then it just
Lost.
was not their night. CJ Dos Santos, he has a fractured like face. He left the game. That was a scary moment. He's been so good for them all year long as their goalkeeper. And now you put yourself in a position that you didn't want to put yourself in. We talked about it last week. You have an opportunity to close out a team, you close out a team. And they've been phenomenal on the road this year. And, they had, I'm not going to say they choked, but having a 2-1 lead and then losing in PKs, like that's not good.
Yeah. And nobody wants to go to a decisive match, obviously.
No, because anything can happen. It's like a game 7. It's like Portland, SDFC's the better team. Portland should not win this series, but it's soccer and anything can happen, man.
So is that good?
Wait, he already said it's not good.
It's not good. Are you kidding me?
All right, I'll go here. I don't know if you saw it this weekend. The Dodgers won the World Series.
Who?
It's not good. Are you kidding me?
It's not great.
The team that spent $1 billion to barely win a World Series?
There's
I
no
know.
such thing.
I know there's no such thing.
No such thing.
The guy making
No money.
$750,000 bailed you out.
Dude, talk about never having to buy a beer.
That game was going down as like Ohtani gives up, Ohtani with an L, and then Ohtani does nothing to play.
I know.
And
Rojas bailed out Ohtani.
100%.
It's crazy. That's how sports work. That's how baseball works specifically.
Ohtani did not have it. And then the BS that he was doing in between innings, taking his sweet time.
That was a big talking point. Yeah,
That's a
you're right. You're right. What else you got?
Jaden Daniels last night in a meaningless fourth quarter,
Yeah, what was the
getting
score at
blown
that
out by
point?
the Seahawks. I think it was like 38-7 or so. It was
It was a blowout.
It was
dude.
a blowout. Why is he in the game? I don't know, but he was. He ends up dislocating his elbow. He might be out for the rest of the year. Lucky for him, it's his non-throwing arm, but
It's a
still,
disaster.
it's a disaster. He had to put an air cast on his arm, and it was just a brutal
Terrible
injury.
injury.
Brent, is that good?
It's no good.
Brutal injury. Dan Quinn is getting destroyed today on Sports Talk Radio, as he should. Why the hell was Jaden
Why is
Daniels
he
in that
there?
game?
And from the rookie year of Jaden Daniels to what is playing out now, even without that injury, but with this injury, whoa, you talk about night and day difference.
Like Robert Griffin III 2.0.
I hope not. Honestly, for him, that would be an
year
absolute
one lights
disaster.
the world on fire.
You're right.
Now, he got hurt in the playoffs in his rookie year,
That'd be a disaster.
but Jaden Daniels, year two, pretty devastating injury.
Completely.
Not great.
How about this? This is an amazing note from Game 7 of the World Series. 50% more viewers for Game 7 of the World Series than Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
30 million.
Yeah, like 26, 27.
Didn't it peak at around
Peaked over 30.
Yeah.
And the NBA Finals Game 7 had like 16 or 17 million. So
Matter.
50% more viewers for Game 7 of the World Series than for the NBA Finals. I agree with you. Is that good?
It is
Great for baseball. I mean, nice year for baseball from a viewership perspective.
I think it's good because we're always kind of railing on baseball
Yep.
for having low ratings all the time.
Yes.
And, this is one of the times they actually beat the other sports. So,
Yeah, and the thing with the Dodgers, Colin's completely wrong on this. They're not a likable team. If you're a Dodger fan, obviously they're the best. If you're not a
Yeah,
Dodger
they're
fan, I'm guessing you probably don't like the Dodgers
But it brings you to your television set, I think.
because they are the bad guys.
Yep.
Every sport needs a villain. I will say the Dodgers are the perfect villain in this scenario. And yeah, we all hate the Dodgers, but they bring eyeballs to the television. And when it's Game 7 of the World Series, I don't care
Everyone
what
should
fan
be
you are.
watching.
You're watching that game. If you're not watching the game, then you're like, props to you for being not watching them. But
I mean, Game 7, I go back to the Cubs, and at the time, the Indians, that was an epic. I think 40 million people watched that. Because it was the
there was no
Cubs.
villain there. There was like, oh my gosh, they're about to win their first World Series ever.
Both ways,
Yeah.
right? In that series, of course, all the attention, though, on Chicago. And then 2017 had good viewership for Houston, LA. But Game 7, it's Game 7 of the World Series.
Right.
Like, you should be throwing it on. And it was a great game. It was a captivating game.
It was ridiculous.
Didn't turn out the way I was hoping.
I can't believe it.
How did they lose that
I can't
game?
believe they lost that game. Again, you're a Blue Jays fan,
2-run lead in
Bro.
the 8th.
bro.
1-run lead in the 9th.
One out in the ninth.
Winning run at third with one out. When?
In the 10th or the 11th or the 9th.
Hey, so many chances.
I don't even remember.
So many chances.
I think it was the bottom of the 9th.
So win the game. It's not hard.
Well, for the Blue
It
Jays,
was
it
hard.
was very
It was
hard.
very hard.
It was very hard. They couldn't do it.
They'll be back. If it was only that simple.
They're never getting back.
We will give away Aztec tickets for tomorrow night at Viejas Arena against Long Beach State. We have 2 pairs of tickets to give away in the 4 o'clock hour. On the other side, Will Brinson, his thoughts on this Jaden Daniels injury and why he was in the game at that point, what it means for the Commanders moving forward. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports, will join us on the other side. Plus, Chris Hodge back with us, taking Vegas. He'll join us at 4:30 with some free picks for our listeners. Final hour, it's hour 3. We have Monday Night Football coverage beginning at 4:45 tonight. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Starbucks, John. We'll start with the Aztecs. They've won 6 in a row. They're 7-1 on the year, and they sit atop the Mount West Conference at 4-0 in conference play. Next up, a trip to Hawaii this upcoming weekend. SDFC lost a heartbreaker to Portland Saturday night. The series is now tied up with a winner-go-home Game 3 back at Snapdragon Stadium on Sunday night. And the Aztecs basketball team tips off their season tomorrow night at Viejas Arena versus Long Beach State. Tip time at 7 p.m. The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks, handcrafted with their signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce, then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. PSL, get it while it's hot or iced, only at Starbucks.
All right, final hour of John and Jim, and that's because we've got Monday Night Football. Pregame coverage gets underway at 4:45. Cowboys and Cardinals from Big D. Coming up in 45 minutes, we have Aztec basketball tickets to give away for tomorrow night. In fact, we have 2 pairs of tickets we'll give away over the next 45 minutes. And we have Chris Hodge joining us to look ahead as well to Monday Night Football. He'll join us at 4:30. Now, as always, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBS Sports, joining us on Mondays to recap the weekend and to look ahead to tonight's game as well. So, Will, we appreciate you taking time for us as always here in San Diego. Let's start with Jaden Daniels. Just your reaction to the injury. I mean, it's such a bad injury. Obviously, the way it looked was a bad injury. But how do you react? Again, it's easy now in hindsight anytime someone gets hurt. But a 38-7 game with 7 minutes remaining, he's out there and he suffers that injury. Just what's your overall reaction to what played out and what took place?
Well, you know, I mean, Dan Quinn came out today, I think, and basically opened up his press conference. It was like, I screwed that up. And I mean, like, I think Dan Quinn's a really good coach. You know, he comes to the Pete Carroll School of compete, like compete mantra. I think Jaden Daniels probably, wouldn't have wanted to be pulled from that game, but like, you got to realize what's going on. And, you're in a blowout situation. Everyone is getting hurt. You're losing offensive linemen. You lose Marshawn Lattimore. And the last thing you can do if you're Washington is have your future, your franchise quarterback, the superstar, the guy that rejuvenated your entire franchise, essentially overnight with the addition of a new GM and a new head coach, is have him suffer an injury like that. And so it's as bad a move as you can have happen. He can't be on the field at that point in time, especially against a really good defense that is like been flying around and popping guys left and right in a game that's a complete blowout. Bigger picture for Washington guys, they have the oldest roster in the NFL by like a full year. I mean, they went to the NFC Championship game last year. They, this offseason, last year they traded for Lattimore. This offseason they traded for Debo. Zach Ertz, one of their key players. They signed Terry McLaurin, a 30-year-old wide receiver, to a lengthy contract. I mean, this is like, it's kind of a bad spot. Like, all of a sudden, it's like the magic is gone. Daniels is hurt. We don't know the severity of it in terms of like next year, but this roster is not in good shape.
No, they are not, and it can happen very quickly. On the flip side, the Seahawks, they looked dominant last night again. Could you make the case the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC?
No, but that's because the Los Angeles Rams exist.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. I've been like yelling at Pete Prisco all day because he did some like thing on CBS Sports HQ where he's like, Matthew Stafford's MVP. I'm like, dude, I told you that 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You're stealing my takes, you clown.
Don't steal stuff.
But no, look, dude, I think here's a hot take. I think you can make a case that 3 of the 5 best teams. Actually, this isn't even a hot take because it wouldn't be all football. But 3 of the 5 best teams in the NFC are in the NFC West.
Huh.
And the only other 2 teams you're probably throwing in there are what? Philly and Detroit, right? So, I mean, like that's probably just the case. So the NFC West is loaded this year. And Sam Darnold is, what the Seahawks have done is put him under center, run the ball pretty effectively, but I wouldn't say they're like an elite running team. They run the ball pretty effectively, and then let him throw off play action, where he is the best quarterback in the NFL this year in terms of throwing off a play action. And it's a really nice marriage of an offense and a quarterback who, was taken with a really high pick, didn't pan out in New York. And by the way, how about the Panthers had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield at one point in time? I had both of them on my dynasty team and traded them away too, so I can't.
It's crazy.
Really talk, but like, yeah, like the Darnold has just sort of blossomed into a really good quarterback now. Now, I mean, if they're gonna win a Super Bowl or make a deep playoff run, he's gonna have to play like this, or they're going to have continued just elite defensive performances, which I think is very possible because Mike McDonald, this is a guy in Baltimore, was cranking out elite defenses and doing it in a way that disguises from every angle, pressure at every level. I think they're very much a force to be reckoned with because that defense and Darnold playing the way he is can carry them, into the playoffs. And I don't know that there's, necessarily maybe the Rams, maybe the Eagles, if they get Jalen Phillips, if they continue to add on defense. I don't know if there's anybody that's like going to just shut down somebody else on defense in the NFC.
Will Brinson with us right now, senior NFL writer, CBS Sports. So tonight, this is a must win for the Cowboys, right? I think they're only favored by 3 or 4 points, but Kyler Murray inactive. The Cowboys
3.5, I think. Yeah,
they got to have this game, right?
Oh, yeah. Must win for the Cowboys. I believe it is the 12th anniversary of Dak Prescott's mother tragically passing. Obviously, a huge deal for him. He's been incredible this year. If the Cowboys defense, I think I joked last week, it's like, if they had Micah Parsons, this would be a pretty good team.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shootout. You look at Dallas's games, only 2 of Dallas's games have not gotten into the 50s. And that didn't include when they scored 22 against Denver, who dropped 44 on them. It was week 1 against Philly. And then I'm trying to think what their week 4 game was. But I mean, this is going to be a shootout. Jacoby Brissett, the Cardinals aren't afraid to let him wing the ball around. He will pass it aplenty. And I think we're going to see a ton of points tonight. But yeah, most of them for both teams, really. But Dallas in particular, they're talking about, there's rumors out there right now about them maybe looking at Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals if he's available, which would be a huge help. Congrats, you already had a guy who's better, but whatever.
Yeah.
I just think if Dallas can win this game and then make some trades to improve the defense, I don't know, the Cowboys are kind of sneaky good, but yeah, they have to win tonight.
So looking at the AFC, I don't think anybody expected the top of the AFC would be Indy and New England. It's like we're going back in time here. Both are 7-2 teams. What's a bigger story or a better story to you? Is the resurgence of the Patriots, or is it the Colts kind of coming out of nowhere this year with Daniel Jones being what they are?
Well, I mean, nobody likes the Patriots being good, let's be real, right?
Yeah.
If you're born after like 1990, you're like, you know what? I think the Colts are fine. The Patriots are fine. They've had a plenty good run. So like, let's not worry about them too much. I think the Colts are the bigger story, just because Daniel Jones wasn't even brought in to be the starter per se, right? I mean, this is a guy that was brought in to be backup and beats out Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor. The MVP talk was egregious. I've been saying that for weeks, but he is probably going to be the offensive player of the year. The one thing, though, and you don't want to pour cold water on it, you saw the ghost of Danny Dimes' past pop up against the Steelers. Yeah. And the Steelers got out to a lead. The Colts all year have been front running, and I don't mean that in a pejorative way. They've had leads, and they've gotten up, and that allows them to run their offense through Jonathan Taylor. And when they were forced to kind of come from behind and chase the Steelers, they got close and they got within 7. But you saw the issues that they had really with the turnovers and stuff. And so we just haven't seen that. They played such clean football almost all year with the exception of a couple blips. And then you see that pop up in week 9. And it's just sort of a note in the back of my head, like, all right, the Colts are very good, but they're not going to play perfect football all season. I think eventually that'll come back to bite them, especially, once we get to the playoffs. The Patriots, Drake May's awesome, by the way. I mean, he's like, he went, he went to Carolina, so like I don't root for. I mean, I'm happy for him. I don't root for him, but like he's kind of hard not to like the way he's been playing. Probably a little unsustainable just in terms of the deep ball completion percentage. But Josh McDaniels has unlocked him. I think the Patriots are a sustainable problem in terms of being good in the AFC East moving forward, which like we better not be another 20-year run. That'd be nauseating.
Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. Will Brinson with us right now from CBS Sports on John and Jim. So Bills over the Chiefs for the time being in November. If and when they meet again in January,
the Chiefs aren't in the playoff picture right now, John. They're in
that picture.
I know.
They're in that picture. If they meet again, obviously location can be a factor. And Kansas City maybe has an uphill climb in that regard. But if they meet again, who would you pick and why?
Well, I always I've been picking the Bills for the last few years, and I've been picking the Bills to win the Super Bowl. And it's like, I get it. I'm not like a Bills fan, but I've just been sort of on that side, picking them over the Chiefs. And I think you saw the problem with what might happen in the playoffs at the end of yesterday's game. And I get it. 2:39 remaining. You have the ball. A field goal wins the game for you, and you run the ball 3 times with James Cook to get it down under 30 seconds, which, Patrick Mahomes didn't have a lot of time to work with and didn't pull it off, but he came close. And to me, that's like the biggest concern, because if I'm Sean McDermott and I have Josh Allen, you know what else wins the game for me? First down. Yeah. Like a field goal is great. You're up 10 points, or you're up 10 points, and like you're like 99.999% chance to win. First down, you're a 100% chance to win. Mm-hmm. And if you have Josh Allen who can, like, I would have rolled Josh Allen out and had like Dalton Kincaid on a little under route and like Shakir somewhere, like 2 easy looks. 1, 2, if they're not there, just take off running up the right and see what you can get. You're getting as many yards as you will with James Cook. And so the point being is, like, we've seen the Chiefs do this to the Bills with 13 seconds left. So up until Sean McDermott is willing to be a little more aggressive at the end of these games to close out, and just like, you can't just like throw the Chiefs in a coffin. You have to like nail that coffin shut and then like bury it 400 feet underground and with like a titanium ceiling on top of it. But it's just like, you can't take the risk of giving Patrick Mahomes the ball back. So that's my one concern with them. But I think if the Bills defense plays like they did last night, yeah, I mean, like, that's an absolute Super Bowl winning caliber team.
So I feel like Bengals games are like must watch, especially the end of games, because it feels like there's something always crazy happening. Yesterday, obviously the ending of that game was crazy, but for having, I think it was the running back for the Bengals basically call out the defense. Like it's going to not end well in Cincinnati, I feel like here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy that Joe Flacco had a 470-yard passing game over the age of 40, and the Bills lost.
It's ridiculous.
Right. And by the way, hey, Lou Anarumo in Indianapolis, I think the Colts defense looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Because the Bengals defense stinks. It might not be Lou Anarumo. It's a tough spot. They need to, at this point, probably try to recoup as much as they can with their tradable assets. I know they wanted to stay alive in the division, but you kind of have to be realistic. You lose, there's 2 games that you think you're going to win against the Jets and then the Bears. Like, you have, 2 teams that you can beat. Your offense plays great. You score 38 points and lose, and then Flacco 470 and you lose. It's like, and the Ravens are healthy now and playing well and a problem again. So it's like, for me, yeah, the Bengals aren't probably going to fire Zach Taylor. I think they would be better off, checking out the coaching market with a healthy Joe Burrow, because a lot of people would be interested in that. I just think the way the franchise runs, they probably won't do it. But yeah, that little like brief spark we got from that Thursday night win over the Steelers has kind of dissipated now very quickly.
Yeah.
We'll always appreciate you taking time for us. We are looking forward to tonight, Cardinals and Cowboys on Monday Night Football, and we will reconnect again with you a week from today. So thanks for hopping on, man.
All right, boys. Talk to you next week. Have a good one.
We'll get to the wrap on the other side, and then Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas will join us coming up at 4:30. He's been terrific for our listeners. Then we have Monday Night Football pregame coverage, Cowboys and Cardinals at 4:45. Stay with us on John and Jim. All right, we have Aztec basketball tickets to give away. We'll do that in 5 minutes. And then Chris Hodge from Taking Vegas joins us at 4:30. And then at 4:45, pregame coverage of the Cowboys and the Cardinals that you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760. And again, a reminder, you can hear San Diego State basketball tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 6.
Your week is jam-packed here, buddy.
Right. Basketball tomorrow.
Sean Lewis Coaches Show Thursday. This show
True. Fly to Hawaii Friday. Call Aztecs Rainbow Warriors.
Then come back next morning afternoon. Call Aztecs basketball.
Sunday at 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a busy week, dude. It's a busy week.
Oh boy.
But I got you.
You got me?
Yeah. I'll get through it because of you.
My week is very busy as well.
No, you're just sitting here.
Short show today, short show Thursday,
Solo show Friday.
Solo show Friday. What I'm banking on, and I probably shouldn't bank on this,
Padres manager news?
that there will be Padres manager news this week.
Yeah, there will. There will, right?
That only happens when you go places, not when John goes places.
Right.
Friday at 6. Special announcement. Friday at 6.
Can't do that, bro.
Special announcement.
Friday at 2 would be awesome.
We have a whole video like Dia de los Muertos. Friday at 6.
I like how the Padres social media feed is that plus
Birthdays.
all birthdays of players.
I mean, the Dia de los Muertos thing, we're going to get to the wrap here. We don't have to. I like the concept. I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like. They're teasing their City Connects for 2026. If the concept centers around the influence, the colors, the Dia de los Muertos day in general, I think that's unique.
well, the hat that
Was on display.
Dominic Mysterio put on display, that's pretty cool hat.
Yes.
I like the colors. Now, is the jerseys going to be the like grayish color, or is it going to what's it going to look like?
Stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned.
That's basically what they're saying. Coming in April of 2026.
They're more worried about City Connect jerseys than hiring a manager. Come on,
No,
guys.
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so.
Maybe.
I mean, that's honestly like one of the.
They don't need a manager. Screw it.
Is that like the big? Hey, it's the off season. We'll have new City Connects. Okay.
Probably a scheduled tweet by the admin right as the World Series ends. Hey, we're going to put this out.
Hey, after the World Series put this up, and they truly did. It was the next day, right? It was Sunday. World Series ended Saturday.
Yep, probably already scheduled because World Series was going to be over Saturday night regardless. So I was like, hey,
At the latest.
yeah, at the latest. Like, so hey, Sunday, let's put this tweet out there. We've already filmed it. Do it.
It got a good amount of reaction. People are into the Padres City Connects.
Of course they are.
People are into uniform. I mean, I'm into uniforms.
Just as
I
long
love
as they're
uniforms.
not bright neon colors like the old City Connects, then we're good.
Right. And I guess it won't be that bright. You can't go brighter.
No, that's as bright as it gets.
Although Dia de los Muertos is a holiday filled with like color, right?
I'm cool with color,
Yeah.
but it's got to be the right colors.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Can't be some, hey, we're marketing to, like you gotta make it universal for everybody here, guys.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I'm with you. Like when I saw that, honestly, I didn't have really any time for it. I watched the video and it was like 12 hours removed from the World Series and the way it ended. It's how I feel in general. Someone asked me today at a San Diego State press conference, like, hey, what do you think they're going to do at manager? I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. The way this year ended and the way the Dodgers won the World Series in that fashion, I said,
Doesn't matter.
like, I'm kind of like, I don't disenfranchised based on what's playing out right now in the NL West, I guess.
Yeah, if they made the move to hire Albert Pujols, that's a pretty sizable
It's a big
move to
move.
make.
It is.
They hire Ryan Flaherty or Ruben Niebla and promote him.
Like, how are you going to sell me on like, this is it. We're now ready. We're taking the next step. I don't think they'll sell me on that if they hire Albert Pujols, truthfully. But will I have a level of excitement? Yeah, I will. If it's Pujols, I'll have a level of excitement.
I will too. I have no idea how Albert Pujols would be as a manager. Zero.
No idea.
But I also have no idea how Ryan Flaherty or Brian Esposito or Nick Hundley or Ruben Niebla would be as manager either.
Would you be excited? I don't know if it's the right word. Would you be optimistic if it was Niebla based on his successes?
I mean, I would be okay with it. I'm not saying I would sit here and be like, I can't believe they didn't hire Albert Pujols.
Mm-hmm.
But it also does kind of feel like a safe hire. Like it just feels like, hey, we're hiring you because we don't want to lose you as our pitching guy.
Good point.
That's
Yeah,
all.
we already know who you are.
You know, if they hired Albert Pujols, they're taking a risk. But if they hired Ruben Niebla, I don't know. It just feels like it feels safe. Nick Hundley, feels a little outside the box. And Ryan Flaherty would feel like the safest. Are you serious? Like, just okay, whatever. Not least exciting hire you could possibly have is Ryan Flaherty, in my opinion.
Well, then wait for the tweet.
Absolutely. I know.
Coming at 6 p.m. on Friday. All right, call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night. You want to give 1 pair away here or 2, Brent? Up to you.
You know what? In honor of you two idiots, we'll take callers 6 and 7.
Oh, 6, 7.
Callers 6 and 7. 6, 7. You've got 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night, the season opener against Long Beach State. Call 877-767-4760. Caller 6 and 7. 6, 7. You're going. 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs. Chris Hodge taking Vegas will get us ready for Monday Night Football on the other side. Then we've got pregame coverage for you. Cowboys and Cardinals coming up at 4:45 right here on John and Jim. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again. There is no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer. New vehicles are arriving daily, including their most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, hurry into your Toyota dealer now. It's a great time to get a new Toyota truck. It really is. They've got the largest inventory of Tacomas and Tundras. They're ready to roll. The Tacoma is known for its legendary toughness, off-road capability, and everyday efficiency, perfect for weekend adventures or just tackling your to-do list. And the Tundra brings serious power, impressive towing capacity, and bold design, plus the latest tech and comfort features. So whether you need a truck that's built for the trails, built for work, or built for your family's next adventure, Toyota's got you covered all month long. Again, new vehicles arriving daily. We're talking about cars, trucks, and SUVs. We make it easy. See your Toyota dealer today.
This update is brought to you by Starbucks. San Diego State football is now 7-1 on the year after they beat Wyoming over the weekend. They're 4-0 in conference play, sitting atop of the Mountain West Conference in sole possession of first place right now. Next up, a trip to Hawaii this upcoming weekend. They take on the Rainbow Warriors on Saturday night. SDFC, because they lost to Portland this past weekend. The series is now tied. They will have a winner go home game 3 back at Snapdragon Stadium this upcoming Sunday night. And Aztec basketball tips off tomorrow night. Season opener at Viejas Arena against Long Beach State. Tip time is at 7 p.m. The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks, handcrafted with their signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce, then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. PSL, get it while it's hot or iced, only at Starbucks.
All right, John and Jim, we've got pregame coverage of Cowboys Cardinals coming up right here on 760 in about 13 minutes, which means it's a great time to connect with Chris Hodge, takingvegas.com. He has been just terrific once again this year for our listeners, 15-7 with his free plays this year on the show and with the picks on the show and with the free picks as well. We'll get into Monday Night Football, but we cannot start without starting with the World Series. Now, go easy on us, Chris. Because you're a Yankees fan, that means you probably hate the Blue Jays because they're in the AL East. Were you rooting for the Dodgers this weekend?
I mean, it really has nothing to do with the AL East. I mean, Toronto's from Canada. I was rooting for the United States team, so I was rooting for the Dodgers. I know that sounds a little rough, but
okay.
Heck with them. But listen, for Toronto to not win that World Series, like if that's the Padres, just think of.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, there's not enough alcohol in the world.
No,
I mean, it's they had no business losing that World Series, but even adversaries have to say credit to Dodgers. When they had to make plays, they made plays, and that's it.
Yeah, if it's one of those games we talked about, if you're a Blue Jays fan, you're never getting over that. Like ever. What's the one sports moment in your life that you'll just like, I'm never getting over that? Do you have one?
Do I have a sports moment? I have a series moment. Yankees losing to the Red Sox when they blew the 3-0 lead.
Of course. Of course.
100%. Yeah.
That was 4 days of just destruction. That just didn't happen like overnight. You're watching it happen to your hated rival.
Slow death.
But I agree with you. I thought the Blue Jays were the better baseball team. Dodgers obviously are great, but that was the series that Toronto really had to screw up to lose. And, the guy not, IKF not getting enough, a big enough lead off third base, not scoring on that play, the ball to left center, that could have ended it. You're coming off second base in game 6. I mean, so much went wrong for them. But again, credit to Dodgers, man. They made plays. So it is what it is.
All right, let's get into Monday Night Football. Chris Hodge is with us. And again, if you've been listening to the show over the years, you know how good he has been for our listeners. This year, 15-7 on the show and with the free text pick. So how can our listeners get tonight absolutely free? Arizona and Dallas coming up in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, same as always. Just text the word win to the number 545454. You get this pick tonight. Interesting game. Arizona comes in with a terrible record, but if you look at this is almost being like a fan of the Blue Jays. They've lost 5 games by a combined, I think, 12 or 13 points. They're the first team in NFL history to lose 3 straight games on game-winning field goals. Like, this team has been in every single game that they've played this year. And they haven't played a soft schedule. They played Green Bay. They played the Colts, who are very good. Okay, the Titans are terrible, but Seattle and San Francisco are very good. This team's played a pretty decent schedule. And they've been in the games, but they just haven't found a way to win. And they've lost in some heartbreaking fashion. Oh, you want to talk a moment? I got knocked out of my suicide pool when the moron from Arizona dropped the ball going over the end zone.
Oh,
I think that was against Tennessee. I had them in my suicide pool that day. Yeah, that was terrible. And then Dallas, they're going to play offense. They're going to score at home. Can they play defense? So it's going to be a tough game tonight. Dallas -3 is the spread. You text the word win to the number 545454. We'll hook it up with you. We'll hook it up for you absolutely free. No questions asked.
So the start of college basketball is here. San Diego State tips off their season tomorrow night. What are some futures that you think will be good here for the upcoming college basketball season?
Yeah, I'm going to give 3, and obviously, 2 of these are going to lose because I'm giving 3. But national championship, I think there's some really, really interesting odds. So I'll start with, the returning champs. Florida comes into this. They're 16-1. They added the kid Boogie Flan from Arkansas, who is a really, really good player. They lost some people last year from the national title team, but Florida is really, really good. They're really deep, and they're going to be a problem all year long. A little bit of a longer shot there is St. John's, believe it or not. This guy Patino, I don't know how much money they gave these kids, because every single player on this team basically is from the transfer portal. They got 7 guys that came in from the transfer portal, but they have depth. They have guys that could shoot. They got a good inside-outside game, and Patino teams are going to play defense. So you get St. John's at 20-1. That's not bad. And there's a team that's lurking that no one talks about anymore, which I cannot believe, and it's the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas is going to be really, really good this year. Now, they went into last season with expectations, and obviously didn't meet them, but they are really good this year. They're really deep. They got height. They got shooting, and they're 25-1. So obviously, we're just picking a national title winner, so they all can't win. But I think, Florida, St. John's, and Kansas, I think one of those teams could win the national title, and you get Florida 16-1, St. John's 20-1, Kansas 25-1. That's what you're looking for when you do something like that. You get some value, but it's going to be a great season, and it's already off to a pretty good start right now. So I'm looking forward to the season.
Yeah, I am watching Arizona and Florida on YouTube TV. I'm not watching the Cowboys and the Cardinals on YouTube TV because it's impossible because of the standoff, but I'm watching Florida and Arizona from Vegas. It's a very good game early on in that one with college basketball underway. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chris Hodge taking Vegas with us. By the way, if you want the Cardinals and the Cowboys, just text the word win, W-I-N, to 545454. You get it absolutely free. Win, text win to 545454. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you clean up last year with college basketball?
College basketball was really good for us last year. We hit 65% of our top plays. Believe it or not, and people, they're very surprised when I tell them this. College basketball for us is the easiest sport to win. It's the sport we're best at. What I'm watching going on right now with college football, and like the referees are really impacting football games more than I can ever remember them. And I'm not throwing any accusations out there. I just think they're bad at their jobs. Like I said this on a radio show a couple weeks ago. When you watch a game in college football at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, and then you watch a game at 3:30 on a Saturday, it's like 2 different games. It's like they're different rules. Like what you watched get called in the 12 o'clock game doesn't get called at 3:30 and vice versa. The refereeing's been so bad, and it's made handicapping football like really tricky because, you get a play here, and there was a play in the UCLA game. They called a 15-yard penalty. The guy didn't even get touched. So I think that game was against Maryland. College basketball, referees aren't great in that sport either, yes, but one play doesn't affect a basketball game. One play can completely screw up a football game. One play does not kill a basketball game. Generally, if you're the better team, even if the refs try to screw everything up, you're going to win that game. So we've always had our most success these 5 months, November through March Madness. We had a great season last year. We hope to duplicate it again this year.
And again, some of these futures for our listeners: Florida, St. John's, or Kansas. Florida 16-1 to win a national championship. St. John's, the Johnnies, 20-1. Kansas 25-1. And of course, Chris will be with us later in the week on Thursday as well, previewing the NFL and college football weekend. But if you want tonight, Cardinals, Cowboys, text the word win, W-I-N, to 545454. That's win, W-I-N, to 545454. Chris, always appreciate it for our listeners. Let's do it again in a couple of days, all right?
Before I go, real quick question, right?
Yeah.
What would you rather be, a fan of the Padres right now or a fan of the Blue Jays?
I got to go Padres, honestly.
Right.
To your point, I can't get over.
You'd rather be a fan of the Mets right now, too. Like, that was the worst World Series loss you could have.
Yeah.
You can't get over it.
That far, and just, like, you'd rather not even just deal with it, right?
Yeah, like the only way that if you're a Blue Jays fan, you're ever going to get over that, maybe, is the next time the Blue Jays win a World Series, if they do. Like, you're not getting over that until you finally win a World Series. And even if you do win a World Series, that's still going to be in the back of your mind.
It's kind of like, honestly, guys, I think it's not Bill Buckner, because that's not what happened.
No,
but allowing a game-tying home run to Miguel Rojas,
Dude.
Right.
has Bill Buckner qualities attached to it.
Yeah, I'd rather give up a game time home run to Ohtani, to be honest with you. Because at least it's understandable.
Yep.
Miguel Rojas, brutal.
It was
Brutal.
really and he makes the play at second base on the scoop.
Yeah.
In Game 6, he makes the play at second base,
Yes.
throwing a guy out at the plate. Like, here's a guy that hadn't had a hit in a month.
I know.
He literally hadn't had a hit in a month,
Insane.
and that's the
And
guy
not
you get beat.
right-handed pitcher.
So this is the thing. Like, being a fan of a sports team is almost like being married. Like, it's just this one straight. Like, you just know something's gonna go wrong, and you just got to deal with it. That's what it's like to me. Me and my wife were watching this game, and she's like, "I'm so happy the Mets. This isn't the Mets."
Dude, right?
And I was like, "Yeah,
Dude.
really."
Yeah.
It can always be worse.
Like, do you want to? It always could be worse.
That's
Yeah.
the thing with sports. It can always be worse.
Yeah.
Chris, appreciate you again. For our listeners, if you want tonight, Monday Night Football, text the word WIN, WIN. He's got it for you free. Text WIN to 545454. Cowboys and Cardinals. Chris, appreciate you, man. We'll do it Thursday, all right?
All right. Thanks, guys. You have a great night.
All right, great stuff from Chris Hodge at Taking Vegas. He makes a good point. I mean, I would not want to be a Blue Jays fan right now.
No. It's like,
You can't compare Game 3 against the Cubs to what played out there at Rogers Center the last.
and I don't want to hear like, oh, well, at least they made the World Series. Like,
Nah, nobody
no.
cares.
I honestly, the Niners losing the Super Bowl in overtime to the Chiefs, looking back on it, it's like, I'd rather just have never experienced that. I'd rather them just not made the Super Bowl because, I mean, making the Super Bowl, yeah, they lost, obviously. They lost one of their best players in that game for the following season.
That's right.
It's heartbreak. Man.
Yeah, the
sports-
Bills are only remembered because they lost. Like, if they never made the Super Bowl, we wouldn't be like, oh, epic choke.
It takes potentially decades for a sports fan to get
Oh,
over that type of loss. It just so happens that the Blue Jays aren't the only sports franchise in Canada that has crushing, devastating, losses in their postseason. Toronto Maple Leafs, any Canadian team right now in the NHL.
It's a good point.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. My favorite meme from the weekend was the Scooby Doo. Let's see who you really are. They pulled the Blue
Toronto
Jay
Maple
off, and it was
Leafs.
the Maple Leafs. Yeah,
I mean, you do. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to lose in that fashion and to lose to the Dodgers in that fashion. I mean, it was almost like pure shock on the faces of the players for LA when they won the World Series.
Yeah.
They were like, wait.
Do you see
We
Dave Roberts
won?
when Miguel Rojas hit the home run?
Yes.
Like he's going
was
to
in
pass.
pure
He
disbelief.
was going to pass out. He's like, what just happened? Because no one was expecting that.
even they didn't think he would do anything.
No, he didn't even think he was going to do it.
Nobody did. I mean,
No.
even I know you're anti Joe Davis, but Joe Davis is like, what?
Everyone was like,
It's
huh?
like, what? How is this even possible?
It was the most improbable thing you'll see in a long time. Like Miguel Rojas, bro. And I also love the fact that right after the Dodgers won the World Series, I had hundreds of Dodger fans in my mentions. Like,
People hate you.
like, hey, you just won the World Series. You might want to celebrate instead of commenting to me. That just proves that I apparently live rent free in a lot of Dodger fans' heads.
they literally, I saw some of the tags. Like, just go to Twitter and type in your search bar at Jim Russell SD.
Like some of
People
them
are calling for like his head.
If I was a person that had like this stuff affected me, which it doesn't, it would have been a bad night. But in the end, it didn't affect me one bit.
There's some
I thought
funny
it was
tweets.
funny.
All right, Cowboys and Cardinals coming up next. This is San Diego Sports 760. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Peace.